And good evening, everybody. It is Thursday night. It is WrestleMania Eve, I think. We have a special show tonight. It's what everybody's been waiting for. I think we have a giveaway tonight. We'll do that in the second hour. But before I get on to our content, let's introduce our host for tonight. Joining us from the great state of Florida, Mr. Richard Ward, the Warden.
How's it going?
Good evening. Joining us from the great state of Ohio, Mr. Andy B.
Hey, everybody.
From the great state of Louisiana, Cajun country, Mr. Cajun. Mr. Lane, that's what the C stands for, Lane Cajun.
The Raging Cajun.
All the good Cajun food.
The Raging Cajun, yeah. And also joining us from the great state of Kentucky. No, I'm sorry, West Virginia. Sorry.
Ooh.
You're close.
Close enough.
Sorry about that.
Close enough.
My bad.
No comment.
The Iron Man, who hopefully won't lay the iron on me for that little flub. But I don't know where I got Kentucky. Good evening, guys.
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Well, I'll hopefully do better here in a little bit.
Oh, man.
Man, I pulled the earbuds out so I wouldn't flub my lines at the beginning, and I messed up.
It's all
Sorry about last week, guys. I got called in.
That's all right.
Life happens.
Yeah.
I say,
We know OnlyFans takes precedence, so
Hey, I gotta make money somehow.
One way or another.
let's see who we got viewing tonight. We got Drew. Welcome.
Hey, Drew.
Hey, Drew.
What's up?
We have Mr. Buck Harjo.
Hey, Buck.
How you
Hey,
doing?
How are
Buck.
you doing tonight? He's from Oklahoma as well. Michael Cannon. Glad to have you joining us
Michael,
again
what's
tonight.
going
Good
on,
evening,
man?
Michael.
Surprise.
Nor.
Nor
Hey, Nor.
from Malaysia. I don't know why, but I just think that's so cool that this show reaches all the way around the other side of the world.
We
It's awesome.
we should like every week we should do like they did on Cheers when Norm would come walking in. Everybody would go
Nor, yeah.
all at once.
I was
Yeah.
just thinking that. Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
We also have William Smith joining us tonight.
Hey, William.
Hey, William.
Joining us. As I mentioned at the top of the show, we have a giveaway tonight. We've been posting about this and talking about this for weeks and weeks and weeks, trying to get the membership up in the Wide World of Belts Facebook group. So here's what's at stake tonight. Let me go full. Well, I've just got a picture of it here. I'll show it up here in a second. I think the picture is the other belt, but yeah, that's the other belt for sale. It's identical to that, except there's one small difference in the tooling around the edge of the strap. So, you stumble with. Oh, that's Lane. Okay. You set?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me go full screen. I'll show this belt off. This is the actual belt. Where'd I go? Oh, I can scroll up. I got an extra camera on tonight because yeah, that's the other belt for sale. It's identical to that, except. Okay. Oh, okay. We have a special guest tonight. Wasn't sure if he's going to be here or not, but he just popped in.
Awesome.
Welcome to the show, Mr. Piers Austin
Hey,
what's up, Piers?
From
How's
down
it going,
under.
bud?
from down under.
How you feeling, man?
I'm all right. I apologize, gentlemen, for being late. I literally
That's all right.
just woke up. I've had a rough night sleeping, and
Oh, man.
but here I am.
No worries.
Glad to have you.
No
Glad
worries.
to have you.
I haven't spoken to this gentleman in about 2 years. How you doing, Piers?
I'm doing good, man. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to see everybody, and pleasure to see you, Andy. Thank you for having me on this show. I'm
Oh,
really
great.
excited.
Great
It's
to
an honor
have you.
on. I'm actually glad you came on here, late or not, because I didn't have any content. I'm going to show off this belt real quick. This is the giveaway belt, and I think everybody except for me is entered in this. Let me go full screen. Okay. This is the belt that's up for grabs tonight. This is the NWA TV Championship by Unique Spirit, who is the sponsor of the show.
That's nice.
It's on oxblood leather. With it's got the logo plate.
Mark
it has-
Leather.
Blue backing.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love that blue backing.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah.
beautiful.
Now, I'm giving this one away tonight. If you'll notice the tooling, this is the edge tooling right here. It's got the clamshell tooling around it.
Mhm.
Clamshell tooling. Okay, that's this one.
Okay.
If you don't win this one, I still got one for sale. It's right here. It's identical except for the edge tooling. Whoops. See that's the same tooling that goes around the factory strap for the Premier Dome Globe.
That is.
But it's identical. It's got the blue backing. It's got the logo plate.
Still a good belt.
and it was re-leathered by me. Mark Feather.
I dig the color of the strap.
Yeah,
I
do
love
too.
Oxblood.
Pop
It's
for the
beautiful.
strap every time.
I
so.
do. That's. looks
I
really
like
good
that
on
Mark's blood.
Yeah.
That's nice. That
That's an
deserves a
inside
round of
joke.
applause, guys.
Hey, we got sound effects tonight. Great. That's cool. That's awesome. I'm so glad you came on to that.
Yeah.
How do I follow that? Okay. We also have Timothy Romero,
Hey, Timmy.
Chris Thermo, who we had on a few weeks ago.
How's it going, Chris?
Hey, Chris.
Hey, what's up?
Shout out from Buck,
Hey, Buck.
from Drew.
Drew.
Hey, Drew.
And we got a new viewer tonight.
Hey.
New viewer, Gianni.
Hey, Gianni.
He's
Welcome
here.
to the
What's up,
show.
buddy?
Welcome to
He's
the
with
show.
us.
What's up, brother?
Watch out.
Anyway, as I was saying, I'm glad you joined us, Pierce. And by the way, let me get back to the giveaway for a second. We'll do that at the top of the second hour because I don't want people watching the giveaway and then dropping off. So I'm going to keep you engaged for a little bit. But Piers, I'm glad you asked to be on the show. I actually had invited him. Am I too loud? I hear myself as loud.
You're good.
No,
Okay.
you're good.
Yeah, sound normal to me.
Okay. I had invited Pierce a few weeks ago to come on the show, but he's got other things that he has going on at the same time frame. But due to unforeseen circumstances, he has the night off. So you posted something the other night that intrigued me. I don't remember who the players were. You're part of a couple of wrestling organizations there in Australia, aren't you?
Yeah, a few.
Okay.
Oh,
and
awesome.
what roles do you play in those organizations?
So I do anything from ring announcing, commentary. Great piece. Oh, thank you, Gianni. I appreciate the compliment. I do anything from ring announcing, commentary. Sometimes like I get asked to come and help with some booking. Sometimes I'll have workers come up and say, "Hey, I got this idea. I want to get your opinion on it. I want to get your thought on it. What are your thoughts?" And like I give an honest opinion. The only thing is, when you're in that position, when you have workers coming up to you and you're not a wrestler, and they're asking you for that, there's a level of respect there, and there's a level of how you present yourself around these people, and how when you have these opportunities, so like for me, I work with PWA, which is one of the biggest promotions. And the promoter told me, he goes, "Man, look, you sound like a professional. You look pro." And he goes, "And when you're at our shows, you're not a mark. You're not hassling the workers. You sit there, you chill. Even before the shows, when you're invited prior to the shows, you're always very reserved. You're not in everyone's face." And he goes, "That's something that people feel comfortable with you around." And bringing in an outsider, that's important, is that you know your role. You're not one of the boys. You're not a wrestler. Don't act like it. You know what I mean? Be respectful.
Right.
Don't interrupt. Like if you're around before a show, you don't go up to wrestlers and go, "Hey man, blah blah," and start trying to have a chat to them. You go up, "Hey man, how you doing?" You shake hands, and then you find a quiet spot. You just sit there and just chill until they need you. So,
Sure.
You do some ring announcing too, don't you?
yeah. I did ring announcing last Friday. I did ring announcing in a show here where we had I'm not sure if you guys have this show, but we had like Married at First Sight, which is like a reality show, and we had one of the contestants on Married at First Sight is an Australian wrestler. He was working that show and actually brought a bunch of the cast members from that reality show to the
Cool.
Oh,
to the wrestling
cool.
show.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Very cool.
I'm trying to find the video. You posted a video the other night, and there was was it on your page or was it on some other page? Because I can't find it. Where a lot of people were, I guess, demonstrating chops on the chest.
Yeah.
And you got involved in that.
Yeah, that was after the show. We were just hanging out again. That was like a lot of the reality TV guys that were in there, and we're just sort of hanging out once the fans had left. But the guy who was getting chopped is actually Phil Picasso, who has been wrestling for over 20 something years here in Australia and is really well known. He's a little bit quirky and stuff like that, but he yelled out to me and he's like, "Hey brother, you get in here and give me a chop." So I went in there and tried to beat him down like he owed me money, but as soon as I chopped him, he laughed. So it just shows that maybe I'll stick to the microphone.
Yeah. That was a pretty good chop. I'm trying to find a video, but I can't find it. But Anyway, that's pretty cool. You were still in your suit. You were wearing a suit,
Yeah, man.
and
Yeah.
you chopped him while you were wearing a suit, Ric Flair style. So,
I don't actually enjoy wearing like suits and shit to shows, but like there's some promoters that they want a certain you to have a certain look. But the promotions that just go, hey man, just that are more modern, I think they just turn around and go, hey man, just turn up, look funky, look cool, and just you sit there, because predominantly the time if you're on the if you're on
well, I thought that's my phone for a second.
sorry, I turned that gimmick off. Like when you're on commentary, you're really not going to be seen on camera all that much.
Yeah.
Like maybe once, like for indie shows mainly. WWE is probably a different story, but for indie shows, maybe 2 or 3 times throughout a 2-hour show, you'll be seen on the show. I was going fatty at first.
If you had to watch Bam to get that joke.
Oh man.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, but it's a lot of fun being involved, but it's again, it's nerve-wracking to a certain extent as well, because you really ring announcing, especially because when you're dealing with like a crowd of like 400 or 500 people, and like you have to, like, when people start heckling you, if you're going to interact with those people, you've either got to be like quick and smart as fuck in what you're going to say back to them,
Right.
like, or say nothing at all, because otherwise if you start engaging with it and you don't bury that straight away, you're going to have a long night.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you deal with hecklers very often? Do you get hecklers?
Sometimes it depends on the crowd, man. Like when you put alcohol and a bunch of dudes together, you know what I mean? Like they're gonna act stupid. You know what I mean? So
Oh yeah.
once or twice, Friday night I did, and I just kept hammering them. I actually had one of the guys, the reality guys, try and heckle me in the crowd, and I just turned around and I was like, "Hey, bro, listen, you might say whatever you want, but at the end of the day, I didn't need a reality show and 3 experts to find me a woman." And then the crowd started chanting out, "You need experts."
Wow.
So
That's a zinger.
yeah,
You also have a podcast yourself, don't you?
you got 3 of them, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
Three
he's
of
got at least 3 of them. Yeah,
Oh my god. Wow.
yeah, we got
he's a busy man.
Yeah.
We got Wrestling with Tragedy, which I do with ECW original Angel Medina and John Poz from the 2-Man Power Trip.
Oh, wow.
I also do Shooting the Shit, where I get to sit down with people involved in the world of professional wrestling from around the business, from around the world. So not just wrestlers, announcers, bookers, promoters, everyone, and really taking that from being, which was a interview show, to being more of like a conversation and having people on and instead of having people on and just drilling them for an hour with questions, I found just having people on and just having a conversation, and because that conversation can lead anywhere and everywhere, and it's important, and and never straying from what that show is it doesn't matter who your guest is. If you go down and you stick to the true roots of what that show is, that to me is how I've been able to grow people that are interested in it. Like when I had Stevie Richards on, for example, like I had people message me, go, "Why didn't you ask him about BWO? Why didn't you ask him about the match with Terry Funk at Barely Legal? Why didn't you ask him about Right to Censor?" And I'm like, because you can find that shit everywhere that he's answered in the last 15, 20 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I had Stevie Richards on and literally spoke wrestling for in an hour and 30 for like 15, 20 minutes out of that, because that's where the conversation went. And there's more to people than just the business. And if you want to learn more about people,
Right.
that's where shows like
Oh,
that
yeah.
are different.
Right. Yeah. I've been in the ring. I took a bump. That was my
You
experience
you
in the
sure
ring.
did.
I don't know about Gianni's experience, but
Pardon me.
I'm not sure I want to know. But anyway, you talked about ring announcing a while ago. You were talking about a lot of pressure up there. Have you ever introduced a wrestler from the wrong place, like I did a while ago?
Yeah, dude. I've called people by the wrong name during commentary.
Oh
Man.
wow.
Yeah, like, but the thing is, you have to understand, it's like, dude, you like, it's all about learning. Like, I've commentated on a handful of shows,
Yeah.
right? So the first show I commentated on was PWA, which PWA is like the fucking pinnacle of Australian wrestling. And fair enough, it was one of their green, like they've got two types of shows, Black Label and Green Label. Black Label is like their massive shows where for adult orientated shows, and Green Label's more of like their academy shows and smaller shows. So for me, I do the academy shows, but even then, like that's in front of 100 plus people, goes out on Fight TV, YouTube, all that sort of shit. So it still gets the same amount of viewership, but being able to go in there and sit there in that opportunity and being that the first spot, it's nerve-wracking. But I think it depends on who you're working with. It depends on how you're briefed beforehand. Like commentary, the most important thing is to be prepared. Like it's not just, hey, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to put a headset on and I'm going to talk shit. It doesn't work. And the thing is, if you're a non-wrestler and you think, yeah, man, I'm going to be the color guy, bro. I'm going to be like the Jerry the King Lawler. I'm going to come in there. I'm going to talk shit. I'm going to fucking do all that stuff. I'm going to be the heel. I'm going to be this, bro. Like, no, the fact is, like, when you go in there, like, what do you want me to do? Okay, cool. Like the last time I did PWA, I walked in there 4 hours before showtime. You're doing play-by-play. Fuck. Okay, I'm doing play-by-play. Because at the end of the day, color commentating, like the spot for non-wrestlers is play-by-play. Like color, like when you get wrestlers that are like finishing up their career and they're stepping in there, they go into color play-by-play. Or someone who's got that experience from there is always you're able to put in there where for me, accepting play-by-play, but like color is where I prefer, but it's also understanding my place on the card and understanding that if there's me and a wrestler, I'm the one that's going to be doing play-by-play, and that's just fucking
right.
out.
Yeah,
Fuck it the fuck up and roll with it.
exactly. So you stay busy then with the 3 podcasts.
Yeah, man. I stay busy. 3 kids as well.
Is it
Wow.
you have it spaced out a certain way, like you do one night, or do you bunch them together one night, or how do you do that?
Yeah, I try and keep everything spread out, just obviously with family and stuff, and how things have evolved over 2 years. And Andy would probably realize this when I first started, because he was heavily there and around, is this has taken on a life of its own, really. So when I sit down and do podcasting, for me, it's really important that my family comes first, my kids come first, and that I spend time with them. But in saying that, I try and do like a Tuesday night my time. I try and sit down and do an interview. Wednesday nights I do my NXT review show, which is fucking brutal sometimes. So I sit down and watch NXT, get that. And then Saturday nights, depending on how we would go for recording, but Saturday nights I'll do like 2 or 3 episodes of Wrestling with Tragedy as well. But yeah, whatever pops up.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
I've seen your advertisements. The one dude, the real big guy that you do the show with, is that the guy that did the run in Miami in the AEW show?
Which guy?
It's the real big, thick guy that you do the show with. I don't know if he's Latin descent.
Angel?
Yeah, is he the guy that did the run in AEW down in Fort Lauderdale?
No.
Okay, because he looks like him.
King Mega as well. He was at AEW a couple weeks backstage. But yeah, no, he wasn't on TV.
Okay, because I was at an event and the guy looked just like him, the one guy.
Oh, nice. I'll say it is. Yeah, he works for MWA.
Johnny asked a good question. I was going to ask this a while ago, but where can we watch you in action during play-by-play? Is there like a format online or?
Yeah, what I can do, I'll send you a link now, Mark, for the last show that I did.
I think it's on your page, isn't it?
Yeah, they're on YouTube actually. So
okay.
This
send me that
last
link.
one
I'll post it in the comments, or I'll put it up on the screen.
Yeah. So this is well, just no one judged me too badly.
That's all right.
There you go. I just pasted it to you.
There it is. Okay. Let me copy and I'll put the link in the comments because it's easier to copy and paste.
Just say it with confidence, and nobody in the crowd will know you got it wrong.
Right.
Until
It's funny how he
That's
says
one
he.
a wrestler actually comes out to the ring and then makes a scene with you in the middle of it. This happened here a couple of weeks ago at one of our shows. The announcer got the tag team's name wrong, and fortunately, it was a heel tag team. So I'm not reffing the match. I'm standing back there, kind of what would be called the gorilla position, and he's like, "Man, they got my name wrong." I was like, "Just roll with it, dude. Go out there and get major heat with it." I was like, "Go out there and just chew him out." And I was like, "Get heat with it, just and roll with it." And he listened. He went out there and did it. Man, it was great. It was hilarious, and it worked.
What's
not
up,
all
Jason?
the time. But that's,
I mean, that's the thing in wrestling. There's always a way to make any mistake work, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's always like you make a mistake. All right, cool. We can make this work. You can get the heel to turn it around. And that's the most important thing of it, man. And as far as like what we see here with the Australian side of things, it's becoming the scene in itself. We're seeing so many amazing talents coming through. As far as women's wrestling goes, I think women's wrestling, Australia has the best women on the planet, hands down. I think women's wrestling in Australia is probably the best in the world, hands down. Same with tag team wrestling. I think in Australia, women's wrestling and tag team wrestling can't be touched by any fed worldwide.
See, that's the cool thing about everybody living where they live, because I can say the same thing about my area. I'm like, man, I will walk into a wrestling show with the guys that I work with around here, and I can guarantee you they're going to dazzle, and they're going to surprise, and they're going to blow your minds, and that's cool. I freaking love it, because like I think we have some of the best tag teams around in my area, and I would love to, like, if we could ever get together and do something, that would be awesome. Have like a little meeting of the world, or halfway around the world. That would be cool.
The debate of wrestling. I'm down for that.
Is there do they practice kayfabe over there?
To a certain extent, I guess. Nothing really.
It's more of a promoter thing, isn't it? Is it like that for you guys? The promoter pretty much says, "Hey, kayfabe," because that's the way it is here.
Yeah, like I've had some wrestlers come to me and go, "Hey, man, we're going to do the whole, like when I do interviews, we're going to do this whole in kayfabe," and I'm just like, "Nope, no, we're not. It's not going to happen." For me, kayfabe, like, if you're in the setting of doing podcasting, good luck to you, man. You're going to be in character for a fucking hour, and you can pull it off and do it entertaining. Fuck, good luck to you, man. Like, that's great. Just don't pull that shit with me, because I don't want to fucking talk to a pretend character. I want to talk to a character. I want to talk to a person. But as far as that the shows go, to a certain extent, the thing is with wrestling these days, you're seeing probably few characters and more wrestlers that are, like, for example, their name is Andy Bulger. He is from America. He is 6'2" and is an athletic background. And that's kind of where, like, people are going from, where it's like they're more sports athletics than these over the top gimmicks. We're still going to see gimmicks because it's wrestling, but
It's the real person that you want to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
You want that realism.
But I think fans, like, there's certain fans to me that keep kayfabe alive more than anything. And I think that they get to a point where, like, they want to stop and they want to disbelieve for that moment during the show. Like, I can remember being after a show, like, just standing around talking to one of the workers, and a fan walks up to him and she goes, you could have won tonight. And he's like, I did win. She goes, yeah, but you needed your manager to get the win. You could have done it on your own. I'm really disappointed in you. And then just walks off. And this wrestler's like standing there going, like, look here, man. I just went, hey, man, this is your life. I'm fucking out of here. I'm like,
Well, hey, look, bless their hearts. I love every last one of those, because they're the ones that still buy the tickets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I want them to come to all the shows. I have a lady that comes to our shows. When I say our shows, I work for about 4 or 5 different promotions, and this lady's at least 3 of the 4 or 4 of the 5. I mean, she's at all the shows. And I took a bump one night in the very last match, in the main event match at one promotion. Well, the very next day, I'm working like 50 miles away, and she's at this show. And I'm like, okay, this lady's like, 50, this is good 50 miles. And I'm like, all right, well, cool. Okay, whatever. She comes up and she asks me how my back is and all this. And then she proceeds to talk to one of the other referees and was telling him, how much of a good referee. She was really worried about me and all this stuff, all because I took a bump. And she legitimately thought I was out for the minute or so that I was down on the mat. You know what I mean? And it's like I said, bless their heart. I'm glad there's still people who believe or who want to believe, who are willing to go along with it.
Suspend disbelief.
Bro, that sounds like a rat. She could have bought you like all sorts of cool
she's a very nice older lady who started coming to the shows because her husband passed away, and she didn't have anything to do, so she started coming to the wrestling shows, and she got hooked, and now she's at like every show. I love her to death, and she actually came up and wanted a picture with me, and I was kind of like, why? I'm just the ref, man. Like, nobody wants to talk to the ref, but she did, and it was really cool.
Hey, maybe her husband enjoyed it. Her husband could have enjoyed wrestling, and she's fulfilling his,
maybe
his
thing.
She's carrying it on.
Yeah.
Like it's funny, like with people like that go to shows, it's like you don't realize the impacts that you have, or that wrestling overall that can have on people. Like, you talk about that story and that woman and going away. And I remember a story not too long ago. I had a young gentleman here from Australia message me, and, he has supported my podcast from pretty much, he's been one of those guys that day one, never missed an episode. About a year or so ago, this young man had cancer and was in hospital on his deathbed. He's about 20 something years of age. He was in a bad way, like life support, the whole lot.
Wow.
And a couple months ago, he sent me this thing. He was like, hey, I'm going live on Instagram. Come live with me and talk shit. And I'm like, all right, fuck it. You know what I mean? I've got 10, 15 minutes. I'll talk with this kid. And straight away, man, this kid just goes, man, first words he said to me was, you saved my fucking life, dude. And I'm like, what? How the fuck? What did I do for you, man? And he's like, dude, like, I was on life support, and like the nurses would ask me, what can we do for you to make you more comfortable? Like, this is a guy that's on his deathbed, and he's asking for my podcast to be played so he can listen to shit like that. And he's telling me, he's like, man, you're a fucking this and that. And I'm like almost in tears. I'm going, bro, I'm just some fucking loudmouth Australian that talks shit to people online that has just been fortunate enough to have promotions hand me a mic, bro. I go, you're a star. And that moment, bro, like any frustrations that I've ever had with podcasting or anything like that, it's like, man, I want to get my views up, my listens up. What do I need to do?
Yeah.
That all fucking ended in that conversation, because to me, I've just gone, if I only have one person that watches my shit, one person that listens to my shit, one person who fucking supports me, I just want it to be this motherfucker, and I don't give a fuck about it. Like, I care about all my viewers and listeners, don't get me wrong, but to me, that hit differently to me, because it was like, a bigger picture, like podcasting and all this other bullshit is fun, but like when you can get that connection when someone legit feels something, what you're bringing, and it's not just the guest of the week or anything like that, that to me is really humbling.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Real life.
I had something happen to me. I'm not into business or anything, but I do what's called promo wrestling. I don't know if you're familiar with it. I had somebody hit me up. I didn't tell you this, Mark. Hit me up today out of the blue. He goes, hey, my younger brother likes your character. If I send you something, would you sign it and send it back to him? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Why not? So I was like, he's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. If he's interested in my character and it makes him feel good, sure, no problem. I'll do it in a heartbeat.
I would not want to meet your character in a dark alley.
So I think I'm going to get an 8x10 printed out of my character and autograph it as well and send it to him.
That's dope. I like that.
Yeah, that's
cool.
Really nice.
Lane was a fan of my promo character. He was the only fan I had, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in shock though when he said it. I'm like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "Yeah, my brother's a big fan of yours. He's been following you." And I'm like, "Wow."
That's cool as fuck. That's really cool.
this is
Yeah,
your
this is
this is your YouTube channel, correct?
No, that's not mine. No, that's not my channel.
That's
That's,
not yours. Okay.
no, that's PWA's channel.
Okay.
That is where you'll find me. The silver voiced tongue of the Australian dad bod god myself.
That
The
was
dad
the
bod
channel where that
god.
link was you sent me. So
I like that.
I remember that, man. Hopefully, I gave you some decent advice, Gianni.
and hopefully he took it. Hopefully he
Hey,
did.
Johnny's doing well, right? He's been pumping.
He's
along.
hanging in there.
He's hanging in there.
He is. Yeah.
He's hanging and banging.
He's got away with the ladies. He's got away with the ladies.
That's it. Good,
He's
God
a lady
bless him.
killer.
Big time lady killer.
He's got 3 of them buried in his basement. Oh,
Oh, put him.
Oh, secrets
Yeah.
out, Gianni.
Secrets out. Yeah.
Oh,
There we
you got
go.
the
I have to have
drum.
him on every week. I've got to get one of those things. I love
Gotta get a
that.
definitely need to get a
soundboard.
sound
The
effect.
soundboard, yeah.
Soundboard, yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Those are
insane.
great.
I
So,
love that.
so Pierce, what was it like interviewing Stevie Richards? To be honest,
It's interesting because I've had a relationship with Stevie for a little while before I did the interview, and what's funny is like sitting down like beforehand and reaching out to Stevie Richards, it was like, yeah, I don't do interviews, and it's like that was like 2 years ago, and now like since establishing a friendship with him through like Russo's brand and through Vince Russo and Angel and those guys, it's like Stevie's kind of become like a mentor, if you want to call it like something like that. Like if I've got questions about, like, 'cause he's been in podcasting for a long time as well, so
that's
if
pretty
I have
cool.
questions, I hit him up. And it's funny because when I had him on the interview, I was like talking to him, and before we went live, I'm like, I'm sorry, man, I'm just like really nervous. And he's like, dude, you've done this for fucking ever. What are you nervous for? I'm like, I always get nervous when I talk to you, Stevie, whether it's on a podcast or if you call me. And he goes, why are you nervous? Haven't I done everything to help you? Like haven't I always been a friend to you? Like, why are you nervous talking to me? I said, because you're such a smart motherfucker. I'm always afraid of saying something fucking dumb.
You know why I asked that a couple years ago? Shoot, way back. I live in Palm Beach County, Florida. I get in the elevator, and who do you think is in the elevator? Raven.
No
I
shit.
remember
So
that. I remember the
I'm
story, yeah.
looking across, and I'm like, so he's looking at me, and I'm looking at him. You know, I don't want to be that Mark. Can I get your autograph? You know. So I just give him the, hey, how's it going? How's everything going? How's your room? He's like, oh, it's good, everything, blah, blah, blah. Well, the
Yeah.
chick at the front desk knew I'm a huge wrestling fan, and we had talked earlier. So she goes, do you mind taking a picture with a friend of mine? He's a huge wrestling fan. And he's like, sure, why not? Just call him up here. So I go up to the front, and he goes, wasn't I just in the elevator with you about 30 minutes ago? He goes, yeah. I said, yeah. He goes, why didn't you ask me for autograph? I said, man, you're on your own personal time. You got enough with all these fans coming up to you, asking for autographs and stuff. I said, I didn't want to bother you on your personal time. He says, no, I'm about to check out. He says, let me grab my bag. I'll be back. Took a picture with me. We talked for a few minutes. And he's like, you know, you're very respectful. He goes, let me make sure the picture's clear. I mean, I had the most goofy look on my face, but I met him and I talked to him. I said, just talking to you for that 5 minutes meant more to me than anything.
And afterwards,
Anyway.
you go, yeah, anyway, Richard, that's $20 for the picture, bro.
No, to be honest with you, he didn't. He actually wanted to make sure the picture came out perfectly. And he, you know, I thanked him and he shook
Yeah.
my hand and everything. And I was like, you know, thank you for your time, you know.
Should have
And
went full
he was-
Warden on him.
Yeah, he was
Virgil-
really, really down to earth. You know, that was a good impression on me.
yeah, Virgil's the one that usually follows you around and tries to hit you up $20
Well,
for
he'll
a
take
picture.
a picture
Yeah.
of you with you and then try to charge you for it.
Well,
Um,
you know, Virgil tried to charge Brooke Hogan $20 like she went up and said, hey, Virgil,
saw
let's
that,
go.
yeah.
He's like, $20, bitch. You got that Hogan money.
Have
You
I
just
have
don't
I
have
told you
privileged
guys my
cash.
Virgil story?
I remember that.
Have I told you guys my Virgil story?
I don't think so.
Okay, this is back. Let's see. It was before. Yeah, it was before I broke my leg last summer. I broke my leg at the end of June, so this had to be around April or May. And Appalachian Championship Wrestling is doing county fair for Wayne County here in West Virginia, and it's a pretty big thing for Wayne County and pretty good turnout and everything. And we had Lodi, we had Mr. Hughes, we had Shane Douglas, Virgil. I'm trying to remember who all. Anyway, I get to the promoter's house before we go to leave, and I'm the head ref, so I kind of get the rundown of what's going on and who's going over and what matches and all this stuff, so I can run and deliver all the messages and everything else to everybody. Anyway, I'm there. I pull in, and the promoter, Chris, he comes over and he's talking to me. Well, Virgil's already there, and Chris comes over when we start talking immediately. Virgil's following us, and I didn't know what had been going on previously, so I'm clueless as to what his morning has been like. This is just from my viewpoint at this point in time. Then I'll add the rest of the story to it. I get there. We're having training for some of the trainees, for some of the students at the school, and he starts following me and Chris around, and it's like once Chris started talking to me, it was like he tagged me, and Virgil became Virgil's one of these people. If you've never talked to him, he's very I don't know what hyperactive. I mean, he's fidgety. He's just very, very, and he likes to talk very, very close to his face. He wants to get in. Needless to say, I start talking to him, and I find out that he's either working the insane gimmick really, really well, or he's legitimately, crackers. The guy is out there. He starts just talking these crazy stories about how Bret Hart got $13 billion for Stampede Wrestling from Vince, and I'm like, I don't think Vince had that much. Yeah, very ADHD. And, and I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Just kind of, I'm trying to go around the ring and watch the students as they're doing their matches. And he's following me the whole time. Well, the rest of the people start showing up for the show, and we're getting ready to all caravan out and start heading out to set the ring up and everything else in Wayne County, which is about an hour drive from where we were at. And we need Virgil to move his car. Well, literally, if he was in one parking space, we just need him to move one parking space to the left, exactly one parking space over. Right? We're like, Virgil, man, we need you to move your car. Well, okay. Well, let me say this: we don't know if it was actually Virgil's car, if it was just one that he kind of borrowed and didn't tell anybody that he borrowed, or what. It did not look like it was legal to drive. But anyway, he goes out to move his car, and he takes off, and we're in this really nice residential neighborhood, and this is where we're meeting up. And he just drives off, and he's gone for 5 minutes. Now, all we needed him to do is back out and move over one parking space and pull back in, right? He drives, and he's gone. And well, where the hell did he go? We got to take off here in a few minutes, and, we just need him to move his vehicle over so we can get the ring out and all this stuff. And here he comes back, and he drives right past where we're at. And he's gone for about another 3 or 4 minutes. And he comes back in and pulls right back into the same spot that he just pulled out of, right? So we had to tell him to move again, right? Well, needless to say, it turns out to be one of those days where Virgil is just Virgil. It was really cool getting to work with him, but the stuff that he posts on Twitter, he actually kind of talks that in real life. So I don't know if he's actually working the gimmick or if it's legit that he's
living the gimmick.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I'm surprised he's not charging Twitter for his posts.
It was a crazy day, and I don't want to make it sound like Virgil was a pain or anything, but it's just crazy some of the stuff that it was funny some of the stuff that he was doing.
Him and Janetti need to form a tag team.
Oh
Not to
God, that would be
mention-
insane.
Not to mention the holy sweatpants fiasco.
I'd call that tag team high and crazy.
Yeah, high and crazy.
High
the
and crazy.
Meatball marinaras.
Yeah.
Oh, Virgil.
Oh man.
I'm going to take a moment. I forgot to do this at the beginning of the hour. Take a moment to recognize our sponsors. One of them is me, Mark Leather, for all your leathering needs, and by Unique Spirit, who made the belt that we're giving away here in about 30 minutes. And if you're watching us on Facebook and you don't click on the StreamYard link, you're going to show up as Facebook user instead of your name. But if you click over on the YouTube channel, the Wide World of Belts YouTube channel, you don't have to click anything extra, and you can get your comments with your name on them. So, and the StreamYard membership was a kind of a joint venture with another podcast known as the Brothers in Kayfabe podcast. Check them out; they love to talk about wrestling, fellow Oklahomans. So, give them a listen. And I don't have it up on the banners or anything like that, but you might check out BAM on Tuesday nights, Carmine and the guys.
Yep.
And you might even see Gianni on there. You see what it actually looks like.
You think so?
Me on
You think
there.
he'll show up?
That's the
I
other
think I just ruined viewership. So.
Sorry, Carmine.
Come on now. I tune in only for Gianni.
Oh, we like Gianni. We always like give him a hard time. And he loves it.
How did let me say this? How did you not go crazy? Because and I love Virgil to death. Was it because it may or may not have been stolen? I'm just saying, man. I'm just
Gotta
Oh,
love the wrestling
Richard's got a
business.
belt. Also, I was just listening. I was looking at the comments. Hang on.
This one's also by Unique Spirits.
Oh yeah.
That's nice.
Oh,
This
man.
thing is huge, man.
That's what the AEW belt,
The way it's
women's
done.
belt's been modeled after, right?
Yep.
Yep.
This thing's a beast.
That's cool.
Unique Spirit just sent me some custom plates I ordered. I'm not going to reveal it until I get it on leather. I will show you one thing though.
I blame Mark for this. He got me into classics.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
did.
nice.
I'm sorry. I'm
Easy
such a
to
terrible.
get into.
That's all I own is classics.
Yeah, I'm a terrible human being. Okay, now this set of plates I got for this custom, I had him put the logo on the main plate. I had a logo for this. This is my logo. Oops, let me put it on full screen. This is the logo plate for that belt. Right here. This is my fake. This is before Jerry Jarrett came up with the USWA. This was 1986.
Oh,
That's nice.
that's
So-
nice.
Now, I asked him to send it to me unpainted, so he did. But he also sent me a painted version.
Oh, I like that.
Now, my question to you guys is, because I'm doing the leather for this, which one do I put on the belt?
The silver one with United States Wrestling Association letters painted black.
This one here.
The one, the
I agree.
Yeah,
one in
black.
your left hand.
This one, yeah.
Yes.
I'd go
That's what I would go with.
black for the USWA letters and the writing at the top put in white. 'Cause it'll
In
pop
white?
more.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
White,
idea
white
too,
appeared
yeah.
down here.
yeah, it'll pop more, I think.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I'll keep that in
Yep.
mind.
I didn't
That's a
even
good
think of
idea.
that.
The reason I don't want the colored one, the painted one, is because this is already on the main plate,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the side plates has red, white, and blue on it also. And it's just, to me, it's just too much color. So, anyway, this is all you're going to get until I get the leather done, and I'm going to start on the leather tomorrow. So, I'm really, really excited. I've shown a few people what I've done,
Oh,
but
I
I'm not
can't
showing
wait.
it.
I can't wait to see that.
I can't either. It's beautiful. Oops, go back.
Oh, Mark, I got to show off my new thing.
Oh yeah. Hold on.
Oh yeah, Lane, let's see that. Oh,
Hey.
nice.
Oh yeah. Where'd you get that?
Mark sent it to me.
All right.
That's beautiful. That's
That's
nice.
nice.
Very nice, Lane.
Yeah, thank you.
That
Can
is
you
the
wear
mini.
that as a wristwatch if you wanted? Like, not as a wristwatch, but could you put it around your
Sure
wrist?
could, but
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
Like a bracelet.
That
Oh,
I
man.
told Lane that looks like the mini Fandu. Show,
I
hold
want
that up
one of
again. Look,
those-
hold that up again. Show the side plates.
That's funny that you asked if you could wear it on your wrist. I made a leather cuff.
Behind all my comments here.
I want one of those watches. That's what I want.
oh, wow. That
Nope, I'm keeping it, Johnny. It's not trademarked, but it's going to be.
Yeah, I'd say do the white with the black, like Pierre said. It would definitely pop.
Okay.
That is beautiful, Wayne.
I actually made. I took a leather cuff and slapped
Is that a pin or oh, it's
Oh,
a
wait,
pin.
wait, wait.
Okay,
It's a pin, yeah.
Let me put that back.
let's see that.
Put it back up there. Oh yeah.
That's actually
pretty cool.
from the NWA shop right now. The cuff is not. The cuff I got from, I don't remember, probably Amazon or eBay one.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and many. I'm kind of obsessed.
Aren't we all?
It's a healthy obsession. It doesn't hurt anyone.
Yeah.
Well, I got three big ones, and I got the mini belt up there, and
They're like potato chips.
four
You can't
coins.
just have one.
I got 4 coins.
There's
Yeah,
no
potato
stopping
chips.
once
Yeah.
you started. There's no
I,
stopping.
I've got three, man, and I don't know. Like I like the belts and stuff like that, but I kind of fell out of love with them a little bit, if that makes sense. I
Mhm.
think
Yeah, I
like,
can see that.
like because I was in all the belt groups and stuff, and there's a lot of amazing people in those belt groups, all of you gentlemen included in that statement. But I just found like there was just so much drama, and it was just so much drama.
Toxicity. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like last year, it just got to a point where it's just like, man, like I'm just sick of seeing it.
Yeah. You want to
Like,
be able
you know
to
what I mean?
breathe
Like,
and get
yeah,
away
you know what?
from it.
We're all marks, we're all wrestling fans, whatever. And yeah, I'm into the belts, but like seeing all that toxic shit, it just, man, like, you know what? I was like, fuck this. I don't want to see another belt.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I was too busy to
I
take my belts down, sell
I
them.
left
So
a lot of groups because of it. I left a lot of promo groups because of it. I used to share a lot of my stuff online. I just share it with the boys. You know what I mean?
yeah.
The belt hobby, like I said, is confined. I can't fault the belt hobby totally, but you know, I've met some amazing people. Mark is practically like my best friend. I consider him family.
He helped me
Yeah,
fix
I
my
met
toilet
him.
today.
Well, there you
Oh,
go.
right.
You know, and
I agree,
it's-
man. I've met great guys like Brent Lamberson, who I consider one of my best friends.
Yeah, Brent's awesome.
You know, like there's so many people, Glenn Sexton, Mike Mados, all these guys I've become friends with. But to me, it just got to a point of just seeing all this toxicity, all this arguing, all this bullshit between like grown adults.
Mhm.
And I was just like, you know what, man, I don't want to get involved in this shit. I don't want to know about it. I'm just like, hey, but Boo Boo, you guys go do your thing. I'm just gonna like slowly back out of this. Because like, man, it just like I don't know how people can do it day in and day out. Like to me, that mentally became exhausting just to see.
oh yeah,
So I
definitely.
did. I had to silence a few groups. I had to leave a few groups. And that's nothing against the admins of those groups or the people or the majority of people
Exactly.
in them. It's just that, like, dude, I don't really want to hear like people arguing. You piece of shit! You got a big eagle. That fucking main plate is too small for that fucking leather. You piece of shit.
Yeah.
We've talked about that ad nauseum here.
See, like I said, the positivity stuff I got out of the belt hobby. Hey, Jay Sick, and the promo hobby. I mean, I've said this in one of the other groups, and I don't know if I ever mentioned. I think I mentioned it to Mark one time. The promo hobby and the belt hobby actually saved my life,
Oh wow.
and that's why I'm dedicated to the belt hobby. And the toxicity is what turns me off in certain groups. But there's amazing people out there, you know, like you named Dustin King, Mike Mortis, you know, and guys like Mark, Andy, Jim, you know, and stuff like that. And I'm in part of your group also, and I follow you guys too.
Thank you.
And you know, I just met so many amazing people. It's, you know, in my
Yeah.
personal life, I don't have many friends, but the hobby alone, just in general, is what brought me in.
And I think it does do that to a lot of people, and it has done that for a lot of people. And unfortunately, a select few people have made it something good, which wasn't a positive experience. It wasn't something that you'd want to be around or be a part of. And to be honest, man, like, dude, as I said at the beginning of the show, I got 3 kids. I do podcasting. I work, bro. Like my life is busy enough and fulfilled enough that I don't need to argue with motherfuckers from the other side of the world. over
Exactly,
fucking-
man. I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all.
Which belt's that? Like, I'd really just to come and have a friendly conversation with people. Sure, fucking hit me up. Let's talk wrestling. But
Yep.
to argue over fucking shit that does not matter in the grander scheme of things, find another.
Well,
Australian.
it really kills me is because like these guys who think they know something about something that they know absolutely nothing about. You can sit there and claim to be whatever belt guy. For somebody who actually is in the business, who does this pretty much every week, I can tell you straight up, the boys, they don't give a crap about these.
No.
They might have a couple of them that they own because they themselves are marks. I mean, I'm such a mark for the business. I got into it. Okay, so I don't like that term being derogatory. I think.
Do you know what? It's funny. I saw like a thing William Regal said about using the term marks, but it's funny with the belts. I remember being at a show about a year ago, and I was lined up for this show. And it was a new promotion, so I had a friend of mine working on the show, so I didn't tell anyone at this promotion that I was going to be there. And so the promotion didn't know I was going to be there. I wasn't going in there in any working capacity. I'm just going in there supporting one of my best friends in the business, right? He's on this card. He was like, hey, man, I don't know how this show's going to be. There's people I know there, but there's a couple of things. Like, can you just come and just hang out? So I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. So I go to the show. And as I'm lining up, so I was prepared to pay, I'm paying for a ticket to this show, which is something like, I don't pay for the show. So I'm paying for the ticket. I'm lining up. And there's a young gentleman in front of me. And this young gentleman, he's not 100%, if that makes sense, right? So you know what I mean? Like he's just a bit, maybe he has autism or he has some sort of mental issue or whatever the fuck. So this young kid's lining up. He's got his replica belts that he's brought with him to a show because he's a fucking fan. He's excited. He's bought his belts, right, to a wrestling show, right? He's feeling confident. He's a young kid. He's got a bit of problems. So he's feeling like he's the man. Like he's standing like, yeah, man, I'm the fucking man. Look, I got my fucking WWE US on this shoulder. I got my fucking whatever on this shoulder. I'm the fucking man. Good for you, brother. Like, fucking God bless, right? So he goes up and this fucking moron behind the fucking thing taking the cash. And I'm sorry for swearing, gentlemen. I know you're all good Christian boys that don't put up with that shit. But what it comes down to, the person at the counter then looks at him and goes, "Oh, you're the one with the belts," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm the one with the belt." You know what I mean? Like, and then she's like, "Oh, let me call such and such. He'll come and get the belts off you." And he's like, "Get the fucking belt." He's like, "What?" And like, he's like, no, these are mine. And she's like, what sort of person brings their own wrestling belt? Like, what's wrong with you that you'd bring wrestling belts to a wrestling show?
Oh,
and
come
then
on.
him up and down. I'm standing right behind this dude and I'm going,
You're trying to hold it in.
like, because I'm there for my friend. I'm not there representing me, right? I'm there to support my friend. So I'm like, I can't fucking call this person a fucking dumbass. So I'm like, okay. And I just I waited. I went through, sat down for this show. The show was fucking terrible. I left straight after my friend's spot. And sooner or later, I got in contact with the promoter and we started talking, because this was during COVID. You have to leave your number. And I got bombarded by messages. I blew the promotion up and I said, listen, fuckers, I didn't agree for your marketing bullshit. Your show was bullshit. And I gave him a list of reasons on what was going on. And like, me and that promoter have since sat down and talked, and I've worked for that promoter since. But he was like, man, you came at us hard with all this stuff. I said, no, bro, you came at me and I gave you a list of feedback. You need to understand this is perceived from a punter. I was a paying customer that night. And dude, I walked out. I didn't even get my money's worth. He's like, oh, I'll refund you. I said, bro, it's not about the $20 I paid to get into your fucking show. Listen to what I'm telling you about your show. You had no crowd management. You had people jumping all around the fucking ring. Your workers weren't paying attention to what was being briefed. You started your show 40 minutes because you're waiting for your friends and family to come and sit in the front row. I'm not a fucking idiot, dude. I could sit there and see why your show failed, and it was because of you.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about the kid? Did you mention the kid?
Fucking oath I did. And I said to him, I go straight out, I go, you have someone who is this guy goes to every fucking Australian wrestling show, supports every fucking Australian wrestler, and your fucking front counter is going to shit on this kid. I said, don't fucking refund my money. Go find this kid, give him free fucking tickets for the next fucking show. That's what you need to do to make that right. Because that made me feel, and this kid had no fucking idea. That's the saddest thing, bro.
Yeah.
Like he's like, oh, I don't know. I just like my belts. Like, you know what I mean? Like he thought he was having a fucking conversation with this bitch is fucking berating him. And I just, that's not cool, man.
Yeah. Thank goodness he didn't understand.
Yeah, that's what you see in wrestling business, man. People that do have those sort of problems, sometimes, man, people just take the fucking Mickey out of them. And I don't sit there and cop that shit, bro. I don't care where I am on the card or what I'm doing on the show.
Yeah, man, I'd have probably said something even if I was working.
I'm the father of a child,
like,
so I would have definitely said something.
This
man,
this kid is here. He's paying, whatever for me. So
this same kid, man, tunes into all my shit. He turned around and said to me, man, he's laughing. He goes, "Oh, it's a bit weird to take a belt to a wrestling show." I said, "Nah, bro, it ain't fucking weird at all, man.
No,
it is not fucking weird at all, bro. You fucking bring all your belt collection in there, bro. You sit fucking front row.
You come in walking like Ultimo Dragon if you want.
Yeah.
That's what I tell them. You come walking in like Ultimo Dragon if you can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, bro. Fuck. I told him, I said, don't listen to that fucking moron.
What I don't understand is why does somebody always have to? Why can't you just let somebody enjoy what they're enjoying?
Yeah,
right.
There's always has to be a Debbie Downer in every crowd.
That's like today.
Unfortunately, yeah.
And dude, you know what? The more I've been involved in going into the business, the more like I don't want to say jaded I've become about wrestling. But I'll be honest, I look at wrestling as a different light. When I see people being overly fans, I'm like, fuck, look at this Mark go. But at the end of the day, I'm a Mark. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm not one of the boys.
We all are.
Yeah, but we're low key.
I'm not one of the boys. I'm not the thing. So I see that shit and I just go, oh, what a fucking Mark. But then in the same sense, I remind myself, hey man, they're a wrestling fan just like you. That you're no different to them.
Yep.
Yeah,
the only thing I don't like is when fans at certain crowds, they start like chanting shit, and it's like, dude, we're on pay-per-view, we're representing Australian wrestling right here, we're going out to the world, and you want to try and get yourself over by doing a dumb fucking chant. I've told people in the audience before, I'm just like, hey man, can you just shut the fuck up? Like, you're a doing my head in.
Doing it like it is. Yeah.
My least favorite is the what.
Oh, I hate that.
Oh, yeah,
I hate that. Oh. And I know this is a very popular one right now. I hate Fight Forever.
Yeah.
I hate Fight Forever. I think that's like so stupid. I'm like, okay, you're not supposed to cheer for the fight. You're supposed to cheer for a winner or a loser, not the fight itself. But
I had a friend of mine at the live AEW event. I mentioned this on one of the previous shows. He yells, "Hey Aubrey, you're hot!" And she turns around and she gives him the wink.
Hey.
I had a guy on Friday night yell out a homophobic slur when I was introducing, when I was hyping up the show at the start, and I stopped, and the whole crowd went dead silent.
Ooh.
And he said, I said, "Oh yeah, we got such and such here," and the guy goes, "He's an F and whatever." I went, "Well, thank you, sir, for outing his sexuality. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got Tommy Hellfire's partner in the front row. Thank you for standing up and being a part of the LGBTQ whatever community." And this guy's face was just like, he just went pure white, and the crowd just sort of like, yeah. And then intermission, I've gone up to go for a cigarette or something, and I felt this guy grab me by the arm. I've turned around, I've seen who it is. I'm going, oh shit. And he's like, "Hey man, I'm really sorry for what I said. Like, I got overexcited. I had too many drinks. I shouldn't have said that. And I understand what you said, what you had to say." And he's like, "Man, I'm just, as a man, I'm so sorry." I'm like,
"That's
hey,
very big of him, man."
I said, "Enjoy your show, man. Just remember, there's kids sitting in front of you, bro. And you know, if they were your kids, do you want to hear them to hear people swear?"
Exactly.
You know?
We're going to get to the giveaway in just a few minutes, but I want to point out something. You were talking about the drama in the hobby, but there are a lot of good people in the hobby. I've had a couple of viewers send me some things, a couple of things I needed, I mean, I appreciate that very much. But I want to give a shout out to where'd he go? Look for that comment, Mr. Vinny Carquito, and I want to get him on the show. I want to get him on the show sometime.
Hey, Vinny.
He's talking about that NWA Dome Globe. He got an order from Jameel, and I hope I'm not out of turn for calling him out on this, but he needs to be called out on this. I really appreciated this. He offered a semi this little mini belt.
That's nice.
Nice.
Hey, that's
Now
a good call.
I had the one that I gave to Lane. I had already planned to give it to Lane, and as a matter of fact, I already had it boxed up ready to go because I was looking for another one, and I really had forgotten about it. And then Vinny hit me up and said, "Hey, I got this one. I know you're a Dome Globe guy, so
That's cool.
This is
Very
the
nice.
positivity out of the belt hobby right here. You know.
yeah, this is what it
Very
should be
nice- very
about. It
nice
should be about
belt.
drama. And I really appreciate that. I really want to thank Vinny for
Yeah.
that.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
It's a very kind gesture. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
I appreciate your viewership even more, but I really appreciate this.
Thank goodness
you
there's
very
more
much.
good people in the hobby than bad.
Yes.
Mm.
But
Like anything, man, there's good and bad people everywhere in the world, all different types of nationalities, religions, interests and stuff like that, man. And unfortunately, whenever you find a large group of people, there's always going to be some sort of drama associated with it.
Hey, I'm venturing into the podcast and meeting more people. You know, like who would have known years later I'd be on a podcast with Mark Maggard.
I never thought I'd have one.
Then meeting Andy and meeting Jim, meeting Lane, and now meeting you face to face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm on my cousin's podcast every now and then, also as a fan, and they do a whole thing when I pop on the screen. They play a sound bite from Steven Seagal. Anybody see Richie? And everybody knows I come on. I mean, he's got people from all over the country and everything also, and they all know when my name pops up, they know who that is.
Good
Okay,
shit.
so I guess we're in the second hour. We're 4 minutes into the second hour. Should we put it off a little bit longer? Keep the suspense going, or what?
It's up to you, Mark. Whatever you want to do.
You're the captain of this ship.
You the
brother.
man.
Yeah, I'm just along for the ride.
I'm excited, just as everybody else is, because I'm anxious to get this thing on the road. And
Definitely, Nathan.
The crowd's going crazy, Mark. It's up to you, bro.
Now, every one of these guys, except for me, is in on the giveaway. Okay. Now, Gianni had asked a while ago if he was in the giveaway. I don't know if you did not comment on the post this weekend. You were not in the giveaway.
No automatic entries.
I
Hey,
tried
Mark,
to.
can
I
I
tried to give.
can I just say, if my name comes up as the winner, I want you to give it away again, but give it away to someone who has never owned a belt.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Okay. Very kind of you.
Unless it's that Oxblood belt, then they can go fuck themselves and I'll take it. No, I'm kidding.
Well, it
Hey,
is
really,
on
Tim
Mark's
Pierce?
blood leather.
Okay. Let me explain the Mark's blood leather thing. I was.
Yeah, this joke's been running for a few weeks now.
I was cutting on a strap 2 or 3 months ago, and the knife, I was going up against a ruler, and the knife slipped off the ruler and cut my thumb up pretty bad. So I healed up from that. The following month, I was very careful not to cut as deep into the leather. Well, I was doing the same thing with a ruler. I got something about a knife and a ruler, and I was drawing back the knife, and I had this index finger hanging over the edge of the ruler, and I just sliced that sucker off. But just and I bled. Luckily, I didn't bleed over the leather, but.
That's where
If you're
Mark's blood
making a
came
hard
into
foot
play.
title, that would be awesome.
That's what you talk about, putting your blood into your work, man.
There you go. Yeah,
Yeah,
blood, sweat, and
literally,
tears.
yeah.
Blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah.
Okay, so I brought another guest on to do this because I want to keep this as fair and transparent as possible. My other admin, Kevin Davenport, was supposed to be on tonight, but he had some unforeseen issues come up. He wasn't able to be on. So what I'm going to do, because these guys can't do it, they're in it. So I've got a mystery guest.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, mystery guest.
Oh,
Me.
Hey,
That's
Me,
his
yeah.
twin. It's his
Yeah.
twin
Twin
brother.
brother.
It's a better camera. Yeah. So here's
That's-
what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull up the randomizer. Let's see. Can everybody see that?
I can't really see it too great.
Part
Okay, let
of
me
it.
see if let me put on full
Can,
screen.
can
Hang
you
on.
share your screen, Mark?
I can, yeah. Let me
Yeah,
do
so
that.
if you go share your screen, it's probably going to be easier.
Well, I just want to make sure everybody knows that this is not a recorded deal. So
Oh,
me.
right.
We trust you, Mark.
Okay, I'm gonna pull this up. Let's see. Window.
Oh, look.
Nah, I want to see this shit. I'm not sure if I can trust this guy.
Yeah. Okay.
You're pretty good for the
share.
most part, Piers. You
I-
know.
I don't
know,
trust
I'm-
this twin. I don't trust this twin.
Okay, there's the random
There you
number
go.
generator. See it? Does everybody see it?
Yep.
I feel like I'm
now?
on the Brady Bunch.
Okay, everybody can see that now.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay. Okay. See, I got on the other camera too. See, so everybody knows it's legit. Okay. So I'm gonna turn this other. Well, I'll leave it on. So I've got 100 people entered exactly. Okay, 100 people entered exactly. So it's 1 through 100. Everybody's got an assigned number. So I've got this up to 100 right here. If everybody can see that.
Mhm.
So what I'm going to do, if you look down here, it's the same date. It's me. Hello. See. Okay. So I'm going to click it 10 times. Okay. The number is going to appear right below that where it says enter random number. It's going to appear right there. I was playing with this earlier. So the 10th click, whatever number pops up, is going to be the winner. Okay.
Why
And
the
again,
10th?
huh?
I've always wondered why the 10th. Is there? A
I don't
system?
know. I'm just following with how they usually do it. But
Fair enough.
Are you
So-
gonna call out the name of the winner or?
I've got it on a list. I've got the list pulled up.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll
Okay.
call out the name of the winner. And if you are the winner, I'm going to need your shipping information. And if you are the winner and you live out of the United States, you're going to have to pay shipping. That was part of the rules when we announced the giveaway. So we'll get over that after the show. So without
Good luck
further
to
ado,
everybody.
is everybody ready?
Ready? I was
Drum roll, please.
All right, drum roll, please. All right. Oh, we need applause for when we announce the winner, even if it's you, Pierce. Okay.
That's all right. We'll get it
All right.
going.
Okay. Everybody ready?
Yep.
Okay. Here's click number 1. Number 60. Click number 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And this is the winner of the giveaway belt. Everybody, drum roll, please. Put the drum roll I had in mind, but okay. Number 10. Number 92. Who is number 92? Number 92 is Nicholas Sankey. Nicholas Sankey is the winner of the.
Congratulations, Nick.
Congrats.
Congratulations. All right. If he's watching tonight, I can't get back on my screen. Here we go. Okay, so that is the winner of the. I don't know who that is, but let
Fee. Where's Fee?
me take off the other camera. You like my?
Nick Lasaki, if you're the winner,
Yeah, get with me, or I'll message you, but it's going to show up in your message request. So anyway, let me get this other camera off here. You like the name of my WWOB giveaway phone cam? Okay, it's off. All right, that was kind of cool.
that was awesome.
Yeah, that was good.
Excuse me. Sorry about that.
Let's see. Let me catch up with the.
That would be pretty cool. Get the winner on the show, the following show.
Yeah, let me highlight this on my list so I can make sure I don't forget it. Number 92. I don't know this person, but I've seen him in the groups. So
Yeah. Known Nick for a few years. He's a good guy.
congratulations.
Yeah, I've known him in the groups. I don't know him outside of any of the groups. I've never actually had any kind of messaging with him, but I've always seen him in the group. Seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, I haven't either. Let me catch up on the comments here because I'm sure we got some people that are just jumping for joy.
It's like, man, congratulations.
Let's see. Where'd he go?
Shit, we got Will Smith in the group.
Oh man, watch out! He
Whoa,
might
whoa,
slap
whoa.
you.
I didn't know he did
Always slapping
slapstick
anybody,
comedy.
William Smith.
Whoever that is, trust me, I guess. Let's see.
Well, that's good to know.
Uh, that's an inside
Facebook
joke.
user join the StreamYard so we can see your name with your comment also.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. That could be him. I don't know.
Or comment your name.
Yeah, comment your name. That'd be nice. But be sure it's really your name because we got Facebook users saying so or so. Hold on, got dog went in and out.
I'm surprised you can't hear mine snoring.
Who let the dogs out?
I mean,
I
like,
Mine's
did.
outside.
I can solve that
outside.
answer right now.
conked out.
I'm actually sitting in my man cave, and I got all my promo props around me.
Missed it by that much, Nathan. All right, that's all the comments there. So congratulations. We're going to get. Let me go hold up here one more time.
Very, very first
That's
1,000 member belt giveaway.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is awesome.
Let's see.
You got a nice belt, and the leather work was done by Mark Leather.
As soon as I get your address, it'll be on its way to you. So, and I want to get you on the show if at all possible. I'd like to have you on the show showing it off. So,
Be cool if we can have a reveal out of the box.
yeah, that'd be great. Also, if you didn't win, and I know 99 of you didn't, I have this one for sale for 300 shipped.
Still available, everybody.
That's a
Still
killer
available.
deal too. That is
That's
a killer
nice.
deal.
Very nice belt.
Now you can have one just like Nick.
And Richard's getting one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've got one piece of blue leather left for the back. So,
Ooh yeah. I can't wait.
and I can't get any more. My Tandy store quit carrying it, so I have to find it somewhere
Right.
else.
I am the lucky one.
You are. Okay, I have not heard from Nicholas Sankey yet, so I'm sure I
I'll
will.
probably be sending the North America one your way too to get leather because I want those snaps.
Oh,
I'll have to track them down and
The conchos,
yeah.
they'll look really nice with those on there.
It just gives you that authentic look.
Yeah,
know
you
what
got to
I mean?
have if you have that belt, you got to have the conchos on there.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the leather on it, but I want the conchos.
Yeah.
Mark.
Yeah, I know.
You know what? I'm gonna get a bit of heat for this. I've never been a fan of that belt.
Really?
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that design just I don't know. It's just
Oh, I love it.
it.
I love it. Magnum TA, Nikita, Tully.
That's why I held
That's-
this up because Jamie mentioned it, but
That's what's bringing me close to that belt too. You know what I mean? It's
love
all
that
the
belt.
classic ones now. I'm seeing,
well,
and it's bringing me closer to them.
I have to, and I already told Richard about this. I've got to redo the back on this because I pulled it off the shelf and I thought one of the posts had broke because I was going to show it off. I got this one for sale too, but had this happen, that is not a broke post. That is a missing nut post. I forgot to put a nut on the back of that thing, so I got to peel the backing up, put a nut on it, just to go
Simple
to
thing.
show you, leather guys aren't perfect.
It happens. No
Yeah.
problem.
Nothing worse than a loose nut.
Well,
Story of my life, brother.
It's all how you
I'm
look
with you
at
there,
it
William
there,
Smith. I'm a
uh,
10 pounds of silver guy myself, but I'm a big.
I am
10
too.
pounds of gold
And I
guy,
got that
so-
too. I got to put that on
Yes,
leather.
That's
Haven't
on my
had time to do
list.
that yet.
It's on my list of wants.
All right, guys, let me ask you something. Does anybody have any WrestleMania predictions? I mean, WrestleMania predictions.
I just
think
want
it will
Roman to
disappoint.
lose the belt. I just want Roman to lose the belt.
oh no. Roman's gonna be the
I
champion.
think Roman's going to keep the belt.
Roman. They built that storyline for so long. They can't just dump it. No, it's
What if it's interrupted
or what if Paul pulls another swerve?
and goes with Brock?
Yeah,
That I think that would kill it completely. if
I
they-
also heard that Roman's going to Hollywood.
well, we'll see. I hope
Yeah.
not, but we'll see.
The
Yeah.
thing is with WWE, that like everyone what their thought is, they don't want to create another Cena, they don't want to create another Rock, they don't want to create another Stone Cold Steve Austin, because when they create people that have the popularity like a Cena, a Rock, and Austin, for example, they lose control of that
Yeah.
performer. You know what I mean?
Vince
So
is a control
um,
freak.
yeah, so like take for example The Rock, like early 2000s left. John Cena, same sort of shit. John Cena's on his way out. They're never gonna be, and like that's the thing where they look at it. They want people to come for the marquee, which is WWE, not for the star. Now we saw Asuka, which was taken off TV for months. Did anyone notice?
I did.
Okay, you know what I mean. What one person out of a bunch noticed,
I
and it's
don't
the
know.
same. It's like these guys. these performers now in WWE, there's no one there, I think, that is going to be memorable in 25 years. There's just not. There's no one
The
there.
only way they'll be able to do that is if they pull a Bruno Sammartino, put the belt on somebody like Roman, and keep it on him for about 3 or 4 years.
I mean, it hasn't happened for years.
Well, the NWA was smart doing it with Nick Aldis.
Yeah.
Because
I agree.
it basically put credibility not on the champion so much, but it made the championship worthy.
Mean more.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what they can do with someone like a Bron Breakker. I think Bron Breakker's career as a trajectory, he's going to have a career very similar to a Randy Orton. He's going to be the guy. He will be the guy. If you're going to have him as a babyface, I think it'll be very, very hard for them once he gets rolling and learns to know what he's doing. I think it's going to be very hard to.
I totally agree. I want to see them.
If he gets a Scott Steiner or a Rick Steiner promo, he's dead in the water.
I want to see them bring him back his real name, Rex.
And that's the thing about WWE is where they have to get up and give a 20-minute soliloquy, promo, whatever you want to call it, speech in every show. If he's anything like his uncle or his dad, and I'm not saying because in ring they were phenomenal, but when it came to cutting promos, oof, they were not.
How do you think it's going to be the Hall of Fame induction? Like, I mean, they're going to have like.
I think he's going to do it. I think he's going to do the introduction.
What I reckon they're going to do? They're going to have Bron Breakker standing in front of them when they're doing their speeches in front of Scott and Rick with a knife to Bron's throat. Okay, fuck around, and we're going to show you what we're going to do to your boy. I think Scott will want to go in there and start shooting on motherfuckers. Rick seems a bit more like laid back, I think,
reserved.
but I think they're gonna basically sit him down before the show. Go, you want to fuck around? You want to start shooting on Hunter and all this other bullshit? Just remember, your boy is under contract for us. Yeah, he might.
Oh, definitely.
Scott's a lot smarter than what people want.
I think they're gonna bring him into that with.
I think he understands a paycheck, and this is a paycheck. WWE's paying him to be there. He's going to do what WWE wants. He won't. I don't think he'll shoot because I think that he knows that they'll cut his mic first and foremost, and secondly they'll find somebody to escort him off the stage because there'll be enough.
I got one for you, Pierce. What about the new kid that supposedly, when they were bringing him in, he was the next Brock Lesnar, and they shaved his head. You think he's going to go anywhere now that they shaved his head?
Who?
I think they will. I think the thing was with him, he was so fucking green, he couldn't work. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you see him in matches now, he still can't work. So, yeah, this is the best scenario for him. You look when Batista came in, Batista was put with Devon Dudley as Deacon Batista. You know what I mean? I look at it similar to that. This guy, Haaland, mate, this guy is going to be money. He looks like a professional wrestler. He moves like a professional wrestler. He just can't work.
Yeah,
he just can't work yet. And the thing is, that's not his fault. You can't blame the guy for not working because he's in NXT. He's learning. Should he be on TV in the role that he's in? Yeah, works. Should he be having matches? Nope.
You know, Ciampa's getting called up too, so maybe we'll see him at WrestleMania.
Nah, Ciampa's going to AEW, brother.
Do you think Cody's going to show up?
Hey, I want to address that Corwin, that Steiner math speech. Steiner did that to pop the boys. He is a college graduate and he can do math pretty well. He's a restaurant owner, so you better be good at math to run a restaurant.
I think he was a restaurant owner.
I don't know if he is now or not. I know he did at one point in time, but that promo, because once again, because the people I've worked with who know him and who are in the business with him, have told me that was basically just to pop the boys because he started getting out there and they basically said, you can't make us laugh or whatever. And he's like, watch. And he got out there and did the Steiner math promo, which popped the whole planet. It was hilarious.
I want to meet him.
I love at the end of it. And he goes, Samoa Joe, it's because you're fat. All right, bro. Hey, Scott, here's some more Decker and some Sus 250. Just go inject over there, bro.
Mr. Sankey has contacted me, so
There you
I'll be,
go.
I'll be
Awesome.
shipping his belt tomorrow. Congratulations. to him.
Yeah,
I asked him if he'd come on the
Congratulations.
show when he gets it, but we'll see.
I was a big Steiner fan, Steiner brother fan back in the day.
I loved when Steiner was with Sting as a tag team when they first came in the NWA.
Yep.
Steiner and
Let me ask
Sting,
you-
yeah.
Let me ask you guys this. I watched the product, as I'm sure everyone does. One of the things that I see with NXT is they're treating these people like they're fucking kids. Their
Yeah.
high school drama, their high
Yeah.
school
Yep.
bullshit.
Yeah.
What
The
happened
logo
to
alone when they did the
like, bro,
rainbow?
look at what happened to the men in professional wrestling, bro? What happened to the women, like real fucking women?
Because
And
they're
real
catering to a
men.
fourth grade intellect.
Or what
Yeah,
happened
Eventually
to
they're
letting them
selling- they're trying
develop
to
their
sell toys for
character?
kids.
Yeah.
Bro, at the end of the day, I don't really fuck, man. Like, you think that Harley Race and fucking like I don't know, we're sitting there doing like TikTok fucking dances, going duh, 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 duh.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I see that shit. What was
Harley
that-
was
that-
pounding beers and having sex with midgets. Okay,
dude, like, who's that fucking jabroni with the 24/7 title that comes in and flips over with Dana Brooke? That little fucking-
What's
yeah, I
his
know who
name?
you're talking about, man. I don't really
Yeah.
watch.
Can't remember his name.
I got his
Like,
name. tip
like
of my
I just want
tongue.
to, see. I like if Harley was still
Reggie,
alive. I'd just-
Reggie,
Yeah,
Reggie,
Reginald.
Reggie.
Reginald.
If Harley was still alive, I'd just give him a phone with TikTok set up with this guy's profile and just go, "Hey man, this is one of the boys. Just have a look. What do you think?" And Phil,
He'd probably
Phil
go
his
like that.
reaction.
Yeah.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. I can totally hear Harley saying that.
Oh yeah.
Hey, speaking of impersonations, like you just did you see the impersonation of
I know who you're talking about. You're talking
Jesse
about,
Ventura? Jesse Ventura?
No,
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's
what's
great.
his name did it? It's on the tip of my
Killer Cross did
tongue.
it.
What's his name?
Yeah,
Killer Cross.
Okay, give
Yeah,
me
Killer
four-
Cross.
give me 4 more reps.
yeah. 4 more reps. You got this. I did tricep extensions at some. It was
I'm
great.
still not used to seeing him with hair, man.
Yeah. Hey, Andrea.
what's up,
Hey,
Andrea?
Andrea.
Hey kid.
Oh, by the way, let me
Reggie.
upload this picture. I want you guys to see this picture. This is great.
Please, no more nudes of you, Mark.
No, no, no.
no,
No.
that's the OnlyFans. You got
After
to.
the
Yeah, you got to go to OnlyFans to see
You gotta
that.
pay for that stuff, man.
No, I
It's a
gotta
premium
finish it.
subscription. Okay, they're having WrestleCon also down there in Dallas
Yes.
before WrestleMania.
Actually, my promoter is working with Kurt Angle, Kelly Kelly. Oh, I'm trying to think right off the top of my head. Of course, Shane Douglas.
Oh man.
A few of the other people. They're doing a show down there. I want to say tomorrow night.
Okay.
But
Well-
sorry, I when you said that, it's like, oh yeah, my buddies are going to be there. Check them out.
Well, Sam Houston made the trek from North Carolina. I guess he drove. He's been updating on his Facebook page. He's been making the trip. He got into Texas this afternoon. He was supposed to be or this morning. He was supposed to get into Dallas at 1:00. Well, he ran into somebody at WrestleCon in Dallas.
Oh jeez. Wow.
Oh,
His
That's
brother.
awesome.
His
Did you
brother.
think you'd ever see that?
I've never seen him in a picture together.
I've never seen them in a picture together.
Well,
Well, after
Yeah.
Dark Side of the
Like
Ring,
that.
I didn't think you'd ever see this.
Yeah. That's a first for me seeing those two together.
That's pretty awesome.
Well, hopefully, they can get together and heal from
Yeah.
dealing
And get with their sister too.
Yeah, the
Make-
sisters. been
Hey,
through a lot,
I think
too.
that's what Jake is all about. After what happened with with Hall and everything, I
Yeah.
think everybody's going to be coming closer.
Hopefully.
Man, I think at the end, if the world is going to end, we get hit by a nuclear weapon. There's going to be cockroaches and Jake still left. Like,
Right?
that
Right.
motherfucker is just. Yeah, what's funny? Like, I got told a story by a worker that's like when they were young, coming up through the business, they shared a locker room with Jake, and he was like pretty fucking written off at this stage. And walked past and was like, "Hey kid, you want to see a roast beef sandwich?" And my friend was like, yeah, sure. He's like, Jake Roberts pulled his pants down, stuck his there it was. And he goes, you want to know something? I'll never forget about that moment. I'll go, what's that? He goes, Jake the Snake Roberts has a tattoo on his cock. And it says Caroline.
Okay, I've got the video of the Jesse and Ventura impression. Let me upload it. Y'all keep talking. I'm gonna get this up.
Oh man.
Oh, by
Yeah,
the way,
I did it.
before I get to that, if you missed out on this giveaway, Kevin Davenport has something else in mind. He's wanting to do a giveaway later, as soon as he's able to. He just had some personal things he had to take care of, but or he would be here tonight to talk about. But he asked me to mention that. I'm gonna stutter. He's going to have a giveaway for this.
Oh,
Wow.
That is not the belt. That is the BAM coin.
The coin, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, what is that thing worth, Andy? About $150?
$150.
$150. It's those are all cubic zirconias.
Hand placed.
Hand placed,
Wow.
yes. Those things are. And he's got some left to sell, but Kevin's going to give this away soon.
Very nice, Kevin.
Nice.
I don't know what the terms of this is going to be, but it's going to be a pretty interesting giveaway. But he wanted me to mention that.
Very, very nice.
Yeah, I got to do a meet and greet with Jake the Snake on one of the groups, the Asylum.
Oh,
And I asked him, I said, if you can have a match with any wrestler in your prime, who would it be? He goes, well, Bray Wyatt. He goes, yeah, something on a stripper pole match or something like that. And I started laughing.
I met Sam Houston. He's a prankster. He's a funny guy. Nice guy.
But he kind of knew I was nervous when I was talking to him. He's like, just let it go, bud. Just do your thing, man.
Yeah,
Let me get this video uploaded.
He was married to Sam Houston was married to Baby Doll.
Yeah, he was.
And they have a daughter that's a wrestler.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
She's beautiful.
Very pretty.
You know what I forgot to do?
What's that?
I can't believe you forgot too.
What?
Belt of the week.
Oh, yeah, the belt of the week. You got my video I sent you?
You sent me a video?
Yeah, the one with the one I got from Unique.
Oh, I didn't upload that. I'm sorry. I didn't think. I'll do it next week.
You could have
I'll do it
used
next
that.
I could have. I didn't think about it. Actually, this was a repeat.
Sorry, I thought I'd turn this gimmick off.
Mine is on mute. Mark knows what mine is.
Yeah, I know what it is. No, this is actually a rerun because I did not have time to do a Belt of the Week video. I've been busy with leather. I had some other stuff going on. Just did not, and I forgot till the last minute. Just didn't have time to do it. But this is a belt that's near and dear to my heart. If you know me, you know I'm a world-class championship wrestling fan. So this is a Belt of the Week, and while I'm doing this, I'm going to upload the video. So enjoy this.
Okay.
Anyway, by the way, the custom belt I told you about earlier is going to get that same treatment. It's going to get a lace strap. So
Nice.
yeah, I should set it
That
up.
was a really nice belt, man. Those plates look amazing.
Thank you. Mayon Madasser made those plates. I did the leather, of course.
I was just gonna say it's a pity about the leather, but the plates look great.
Yeah.
Kidding.
You win some, lose some. But all the nuts are on the back of that one. So,
Just teasing.
let me catch up with the comments. I've got the Carry on Cross video. I'll show
Well,
you.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
If it does turn into Crockett again, I'll go down. Hopefully, I'll have a job down there.
Yeah, that's a short jump from Kentucky, isn't it?
Shorter from West Virginia. Aha.
Yeah. Yeah, Pierce wasn't on earlier. I introduced James from Kentucky. He lives in West Virginia, and I knew that. I don't know why I thought it was Kentucky, but
Get it right.
yeah, get it right.
That's like saying me from
Yeah, I'm slacking.
Alabama.
Yeah. Or me from Texas. Just fighting words.
From Parts Unknown.
Yeah, parts unknown, yeah. Yeah, I'll just introduce James from parts unknown because apparently
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay,
Hey,
y'all
now,
ready to see this
I
video?
haven't
This
actually
is
worked
great.
up a gimmick hometown yet, so I'm gonna get with a couple of people and actually try to figure out if I do want to do a gimmick hometown or if I actually want to be authentic and just be me.
I think that'd be cool to ever have a gimmick hometown.
Yeah, why not?
Well, I mean, everybody has a gimmick hometown.
Dark Side of the Moon, parts
and,
unknown.
and, you know,
From BFE, Georgia.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, now if you don't know who Jesse the Body Ventura is, he was the governor of Minnesota for a little bit, and was known to dabble in professional wrestling before that.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, he was in
Just a little
Predator.
bit.
He was in Predator. He was a Navy SEAL. Got quite a. But anyway, if you know who he is, this impression is spot on. You got to see this. So check this out.
Don't tell me you don't have 4 more reps in you. Come on, Chris. Don't tell me it didn't happen. I was there.
Jesse Ventura's here?
I was doing tricep extensions in the Gulf of Tonkin. I'm a frogman, so are you, Chris. Come on now. We ain't got time to bleed here in the gym.
That was
Pretty
great.
cool.
that was
That
awesome.
was spot
That was
on. If
really
the camera
good.
wasn't on him, you would have thought it was
Yeah.
Jesse the Body Ventura.
Yeah, exactly.
Just seeing him with a full head of hair it bugs me out.
Yeah, it's different, isn't it?
He kind of looks like Sid Vicious in that video.
Then when he puts the jacket on, the leather
Yeah,
jacket
man.
on, he looks like a greaser.
Yeah.
I've got a show in Hurricane, West Virginia tomorrow night. I've got a show in Chesapeake, West Virginia tomorrow or Saturday afternoon at around 4:00, right before WrestleMania. And then next week I'll be at All Star Wrestling in Madison, and we will have Matt Cardona defending the NWA World Title against Davey Richards in a title versus title match, as Davey Richards is the All Star Wrestling champion.
Oh,
Have you heard if you're doing the
bring home the
Cardona
other
match,
belt.
Jim?
Not yet. I probably won't know anything until the show, and
Okay.
and I'll be honest, I just started working for them.
So maybe
So,
not.
Hey,
I'm
you
not
never
very
know,
high on the
man.
totem
You
pole.
never
Yeah,
know.
you never know.
Hey, my fingers are crossed. I think that if and this is how I'm looking at this. I'm fortunate enough to get to work for these promotions to begin with.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
and I take everything as a blessing. Nothing is ever given. I've earned every job that I've got. But that being said, these guys don't owe me anything. They don't.
Nathan has a question, I think, Jim. Or Jim.
What's that?
I think Nathan has a question.
I go to Morgantown at least 2 or 3 times a year during football season. I haven't since the virus, but I know that Real Shoot Wrestling does shows up around that area. And at one point in time, they had messaged me to come up and work for them. But unfortunately, at that point in time, my leg was broken. So I had to turn them down, and they have never approached me since then. Not saying that that's, they just haven't reached out. And I honestly, I haven't made contact.
Mark, your winner showing.
It's supposed to be a family
But
show, Mark. Come on.
If you come
Red
down
Rocket.
to Charleston for any of the shows or whatever,
showing.
I will. I don't know. I'll make sure you have a good time. We have some good promotions down here in the southern part of the state, and you definitely should come down and check it out for
We're
sure.
gonna
Yeah,
be
I gotta get my
calling
man.
Matt
The
Cardona.
last time
the
this
belt
dog made an
collector.
appearance on the show, somebody suggested I give him away with the belt. My daughter took exception to this. This is my daughter's dog. So I said, hand me that dog. I'm going to give him away again. This is Chesney.
Hey, Chesney.
You never guess who he was named after.
Oh no, not Kenny.
Penny somebody?
Yeah, and my daughter's favorite singer. Whoops.
Man, I want
My
to come.
daughter's
I wanna
standing
come
over here
down
next to me.
to
You can't see her.
America
She's
and go
wearing
down
a Kenny
south to
Chesney
see
shirt.
some really old school matches and stuff. Like that's like a goal of mine. is to go over to America, go down to like North Carolina and stuff like that. Like obviously you're gonna see a different generation, but I think it's just the feeling of like the arenas and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Honestly, around even in my little neck of the woods, depending on what promotion you go to, is different styles. Like ICS, they have more of what I would consider an old school. I won't say NWA, but if you're if a modern, I want to say like a Ring of Honor style feel to it, with not so much of the dive part of Ring of Honor, but they have definitely a Ring of Honor style to them. All Star Wrestling is definitely more your classic Crockett NWA. ACW, which is my home promotion, which is the one that I work for. It's a mixture of everything, because we get a lot of the with like All Star. ACW gets a lot of the legends. Like I train under Shane Douglas, so we get guys. Yeah, we get guys like Shane and Rhino and Sandman and everybody. I mean, I one day I'll send Mark all my pictures and let you guys see all the people I've had the opportunity to meet and work with and have classes under, which is pretty cool.
That's cool. That's cool, man.
But you know what? It's interesting, James. It's like when the behind the scenes of how you act in professional wrestling is something that, like, as fans, you hear about, you read about, and stuff like that. But until you are in it, like, it's a weird fucking bubble, man. Sometimes, like, you know what I mean? Like, because you think if you see two people talking, right, engaged in conversation, I'm not going to interrupt them. I'm going to leave them be. But if you go and shake everyone's hand, like one of those guys, you can guarantee is like, man, this motherfucker just came into my locker room and didn't come and shake my hand.
Yeah, but you don't want to interrupt them, right? It's very okay. I tell everybody this. It's very carny. Like, there's rules, and the handshake, which is because I have anxiety. I'm one of these people who have an issue where, why do you want to talk to me? You know what I mean? I'm nobody.
Yeah.
And you know, and you know, but when you get in the locker room, it's kind of a faux pas to not go up and say, hello, name's Jim, nice to meet you. And then that's all you have to say. It doesn't matter what the conversation is. If you come up and just say, hey, name, nice to meet you, name, nice to meet you, and go on, that's expected. It's not rude.
But even people I know, like now, when I first started like being around shows and stuff, like I would go and sit there in a corner and just be like, okay, I don't want to fucking bother anyone. They're putting their shit together and their stuff like that. Whereas now I walk into a show and like there'll be like 3 or 4 guys organizing a thing in the ring. I'll just walk up side of the ring. Hey boys, what's up? What's up? What's up? All right, cool. Move on to the next. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not there to get in a deep conversation with you. Hey, man, yeah, how's your kids? How's this and that? Hey, brother, what's up? Yeah, good. All right, I'll catch you later, baby. All right, sweet. Move on to the next. Hey, man, how you doing? Yeah, good. And there's people you can sort of, you just need to know how to read the room. I think if you have common sense and can read the room, here's a list of pro wrestling do's and don'ts, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think they respect that more than anything, though.
And well, that and two, like, once, and each locker room is different because different guys, you know, everything, but there's a lot of commonality. It doesn't matter. It's like I said, it's very, very secret handshake type stuff, you know. I mean, I'm not joking when I say this.
That is
very much like
right. Like the secret handshake is like going in and shaking hands like this.
It's very, very soft. You know, you don't like everything, you know, you expect to go in and handshake, like bam, grip.
Because as a man, that's how you're brought up. You're brought up.
And then you go into the locker room and you shake hands and it's very soft and it's very, you know, and it's like, hey, you know, but that's the thing, like, hey man, we're here to work, you know, and everything, you know what I mean? We're not here to hurt each other, we're here to work. And that the soft handshake is sort of kind of like,
it's like you're safe with me in the ring. That's the premise of it.
To pull you in and give you the shoulder. You know what I mean?
That's it. That you do that as to another wrestler. That's kind of like, we're gonna shoot, motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? Like old school guys will take it
like now, like if And once again, this is every job. It doesn't matter where you work, what you do. Everybody has their little cliques, and the guys who are comfortable working together, who've known each other for a while, are going to go over here in the corner, whether they're working a match together or not. But they're going to go over here and talk because
The last comment was good.
and these guys are over here. Generally, everybody intermingles. You know what I mean? But and the thing is, like, after a while, you do make friends, right?
Yeah.
Because you're
like
all
anyone.
you're all working on the same show, whether you're the announcer or you're the ring crew or whatever. You become familiar with all these guys, and you understand, and you go, and you don't even realize it after a while. And this is like what I tell people is like, after a while, it becomes so natural that you're automatically doing what I call the ritual without even realizing that you're doing it. You know what I mean?
That's like me now. I go to shows now. It's like, even if it's a promotion I've never worked, it's like there's I'm going to know like a handful of guys that are going to be on the show or whatever. It's like, when I started it was more nerve wracking, whereas now it's like, I look at it, it's like, this is a job. They're paying me to come in and work a show. You go in there as a professional. It's like going into your normal 9-to-5 job or whatever. You're going to say hello to people. You're going to walk up. People are going to be in the middle of conversation. You go, hey, sorry to interrupt. Hey guys, what's up? I'm Pierce. I'm blah, blah, blah. Cool, man. I'm not going to be invasive of your conversation. Hey man, sorry to interrupt. Just want to say, hey, what's up? And then you move on, and people respect that more than going, oh, I'll wait. I'll come back. And you know what I mean? Like, but I think the Australian scene is more laid back than what it is. Like, there's a few uptight people in the business, but like for the most part, Australians are pretty laid back with that sort of stuff. But I make a point of it, of shaking everyone's hand, regardless of the locker room I'm in.
What about if you don't shake their hand and they just give you that, what's up, man?
Again, it just depends on the locker room. It depends on
the worker. It depends on, because like, and here's the thing too, because not everybody's going to come into the locker room in a good mood. Whatever happened at their shoot job, or they can be, fighting with their old lady or their boyfriend, or whoever, whatever.
Yeah.
And like, because, and don't ever take anything personal if you get snubbed, because it happens. And a lot of times it's generally because, hey, they're in the middle of doing A, B, C, or D, or they've got whatever going on. And they'll make their way back around and go, hey man, I'm sorry I didn't shake your hand earlier, man. My name, or whatever. Hey man, how you doing?
And I've had that happen before. Like, I've walked in, and then there's guys in the ring doing their stuff, and the guy was a friend of mine. He turned around and he looked at me, and I knew he was frustrated because things weren't going well putting it together. But he turned, looked at me, and was like, and that was it. And then afterwards, when he's done, he came out, he walked up to me, hey brother, how are you? It's great to see you. And we're friends, you know what I mean? But he still does that respect side of things. And it just comes down to, man, like, a lot of it is, there are rituals there for a reason. It is a thing to be respectful. And, any locker room that you're a part of, it just depends on who's there. Like, I've seen some guys that just don't shake hands. They're workers. They come in, they don't shake hands. All right, because they're running late, they're doing whatever. No one says a fucking word about it. So it depends on who's not shaking the hand, how much heat they've got, and how much other people want to bury the person. Depends on the other people in the locker room. If they're going to, like, hey man, I really don't give a fuck. Like, this is indie wrestling, bro. Like, I'm not making a shit ton of money here, bro. I do it because it's fun. I'm not going to make it a fucking big deal.
Right. Well, like you said, the heat part. I know guys that absolutely despise each other. And if they were on fire out in the real world, they wouldn't piss on the other guy to put them out.
Yeah.
But that ring, and this is something that I try to impress on everybody who's never actually been a part of the business or anything else. That ring is sacred. That's why you see us wipe our feet before we get into it. All right. We don't want to soil the ring because it's sacred. That's holy ground. And whatever beef that you may have with so-and-so in the back, you get in the ring, you work your program. Yep. And then, you do what you do. You might work a little bit stiff, might work a little bit snug because, you and this guy don't like each other. But at the end of the day, you do business. And regardless,
you got a job to do. Yep.
Regardless of who goes over what, you're there to do business. And then if you want to, go back to the locker room and then take it out back behind the building and then thrash it out or whatever, that's a whole different story. But these guys have a level of respect for the business to not do it in the ring. You know what I mean? They go out and they do what they're supposed to do because they honor the business. And Go ahead.
Sorry. No, I was gonna say I think it's one thing to honor the business, and I'd probably say to anyone who is a non-wrestler who's gonna start hanging around trying to break in and doing the stuff like refereeing or managing or whatever it is. If you're gonna start doing that, that's fine and it's all good and well. Don't be a fucking pushover. Don't be a fucking mark. If you're gonna go around in that sort of environment, you need to leave your fanboy shit on the other side of the fucking guardrail. And I'm sorry to say it like that. I'm sorry to put it as bluntly like that, but that's the fucking way that it is. Because like I've been at shows, I've had promoters hit me up and go, hey man, I want you to commentate our show, blah, blah, blah. I've gone and done their show. Usually I'll say to promoter, yeah, first show, I'll do it for you for free. You'll know what I'm about after the first show. If I'm worth coming back, then you book me, you pay me what my fee is. And I had a promoter, I did the first show. He's like, yeah, I love it, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, so look, this is what my rate is. And he's like, oh, I don't usually pay people for commentary. And I went, oh, he was like, yeah, I just don't. And I went, okay, cool, man. Well, look, thank you very much. Best of luck on your next show. I'll see you later. He's like, Pierce, what do you mean best of luck? I was like, I ain't fucking going to be here, dude. What do you mean? I go, listen, you want some fucking mark to fucking sit on your commentary table and sound like a fucking jerk off and not pay him? Go for it. You want someone like me who's professional, who's going to come and who's going to present, who's going to sit down hours before the show with all your workers, get their backstory, get their information, and present a professional product on your airwaves, on your whatever you're putting out there. Then you pay me my fucking what my fucking thing is, right?
Don't put on a show if you can't afford to pay all of the workers. I cannot stress this enough. And that includes your ring crew. That includes the people that sell the hot dogs. And that definitely includes the announcers. Because this whole presentation is not just the boys and me getting out there and doing our thing, right? It takes a whole village to run this, to have this baby. Okay. I mean, legitimately raise this kid. It takes a lot of people behind the scenes that never get any kind of recognition, you know.
They get no credit or anything. And I don't do my shit for no credit. But the thing is, like, at a show, I'm doing ring announcing, I'm doing commentary. But in reality, for an 8 p.m. start show, I'm getting there at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm sitting there like dude, I don't have to because it's not my fucking job, but I'll help set up a ring. I'll fucking help whatever. I'll give an input or opinion on an angle if it's asked for, but if it's not asked for, I shut the fuck up and do my job. That's as simple as that. And there's so much work that goes into it. I had one promoter want me to come down and he's like, yeah, I'm going to get you doing ring announcing, commentary. I want you to help me set up the show and do all this. And I said, hey man, cool. How much are you going to pay me for doing all that? And he's like, how dare you ask me for money, Mark? You've done nothing in this business. You've done this and that. And I just said to him, hey, mate, you are 100% right. However, let me correct you on one thing. He goes, what's that? I didn't come to you and ask for a spot. You came to me and asked for a service. Yep. There is a big difference in that. If I came to you and said, hey, I want an opportunity, fair enough. I can't really demand a paycheck because I'm asking for a shot. But you're coming to me, asking me to give up a day and a night of my time to invest on your show. And now you want to insult me because I ask about payment? Nah, bro. You want me to be on your show? You pay me. And I'm not talking hundreds of dollars here, boys. I'm talking like $60, which is, hey, man, we appreciate you kind of like, here's a little something to say thanks. No one's making much more than that, right? So promoters need to understand that. And I just said, and the promoter keeps hitting me up. Hey, man, I got this show. And I keep saying, here is my fucking fee. You want me for ring announcing? It's this. You want me for commentating? It's this. You want me for both? We'll work out a deal. That's it. You know what I mean?
I have a basic fee that I charge, right?
I stand by.
And now here's the thing. Now I know there are nights where things are going to be lean. It happens, you know, and I'm negotiable. And there have been nights where I've looked at the promoter because I know he still had to pay the boys, and I just walked out. I did, I worked the show and I didn't take the pay because there was nothing to take. And I've seen, it happens. At the same time, if I get booked for a show and there's a turnout and then the promoter says, hey, well, I'm not going to pay you. Well, guess what? You're never going to have me work again. And the thing about me is I know what I'm worth.
Mm.
I know how good I am. All right.
Yeah.
I'm not the greatest. I always tell people when they say, "How good are you?" I'm good enough to get booked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
It-
if you
it's
want,
the same.
if you want to book me, then you book me. Here's my fee. And once again, at the end of the night, when I see that there's like 30 people in the crowd, I know I'm not going to get my standard fee. Right.
Mm.
I understand that. We can work, we'll work out because I know you still have all the boys to pay and everything else. I get that. But at the same time, I'm of the mind, you know, with these promoters, they get these bright eyed or these guys who want to be promoters and they want to put on shows and they try to put on shows, but they don't have enough people to pay for just to pay the boys, much less pay for the ring, much less pay for, you know, the building and everything else. And here it comes, you know, well, we got the building and we got this. You guys are, yeah. Yeah, you've worked for tens of dollars. Yeah, you're not joking there, man.
I have to disagree. If you have a true love for the business, you've worked for that. If you've broken into the business, you probably have from an old school, but also like for a true love for the business, man,
you respect yourself.
You have to respect yourself in that instance. And man, I've walked away from opportunities because it's like, dude, I don't need, like, I'll be honest, dude, I don't need 50 or 60 bucks. I don't need that money. Right. But the thing is, it comes down to principle. If I'm going, okay, let me know that you appreciate me to be on your show. If not, that's cool, man. You can't pay me. That's cool, dude. Then I can't come to your show, man, because I'm not a mark to be in the business, bro. Like every opportunity I've had, it's not me chasing. You know?
For me, with these guys, and unfortunately, all the promoters that I've worked for are stand-up, good promoters. I've never, knock on wood, I've never been stiffed. Not one time. Not one time.
James, let me tell you this, right? My last booking that I did, right? The promoter paid me $20 more than what my booking rate is without being prompted, anything like that. He just came up to me. He's like, "Hey man, you just got bumped."
Yeah.
And he's like, but he was telling me, "Oh man, the house was shit." And I thought I was going to get the same thing. "Hey man, I can't afford to pay you or whatever." He's like, "No man, I just bumped you up like $20." I'm like, "Okay, cool."
That's respect. That's respect.
Well, I've been told that I do a pretty good job. I've been told that I'm actually pretty good at what I do. That being said, with these promoters around here, you know, you want to stiff me. Well, that's fine. You can go back and have the kid who can't referee a match, who counts to 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on a count out, not gives the guys time to work when they're outside of the ring. Not, you know, you can have all that inexperience all you want and pay him as little as you want. But if you want to put on a show and you want the right show, you want a good show, and you want the spots, the referee spots done right, then you better get a referee who's actually good at what he does. And for that, you have to pay for it. Sorry about the air quotes, but
no, I got a good question for everybody on the panel.
You know, the fact that you don't have to take these if you're in the business, and for guys that you who are watching who are thinking about getting in the business, you don't have to take bookings, and you don't have to take moves that you're scared to take. Just putting that out there. I've seen guys do moves that they weren't prepared to do and get a little banged up because they didn't know how to take it. So,
you know, one thing that really that gets me a little bit annoyed about the business, and I've seen this, and you've probably seen this a bunch of times too, James. I worked a show about 2 months ago, right? So it drew a big crowd, about 500 people, which is decent for an indie show, right? Like, that's anyway. So I'm there hours before the show. I go out to my car. I'm like, I think I went to grab a cigarette or grab something out of my car. I can't remember what it was. And I go down to my car. And I'm like getting my shit out, and I'm like, "Yep, someone's smoking weed." I'm like, "Yeah, find that shit, boy. Go get it." I turn around.
He alerted on the car door.
Yeah, and there's a couple of the young boys. They were not on the card. They just came to be around, to show their face, right? And the champion, or not the champion, but one of the guys in the main event is sitting there smoking this fucking joint hours before the show. And he knew who I was. The guy, the young fucking jabronis with him had no idea who the fuck I was. And he's seen me and gone, "Oh shit, Pierce." And I'm like, "Dude, relax, man. It's fucking weed, bro. I fucking like to do it every once in a while. Just fucking enjoy yourself, knock yourself out." And he's going like this to say, "Hey, like, have some." And I'm like, "Nah, I'm good, bro." Because I was about to commentate. I'm like, "Oh, nah, bro. I'm about to go work." And one of these young kids that have done nothing, not even wrestled a fucking indie show, goes, "Huh, you're about to work. He's about to go work the main event, you dickhead." And I stopped. I went, and this is a promotion I've never worked before, never seen this fucking young punk before. I stopped. I turned around and the performer who was smoking the weed, he's like this. He was like saying, "Shut the fuck up, just shut the fuck." I turned around. I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I have no idea who you are. You the guy that fucking keeps his balls dry?" He's just like, I go, "Yeah, and I am commentating, but someone has to be, I don't know, fucking professional. Why don't you teach your boy about that?" And I just walked off. And the wrestler came back to me. He's like, "Man, I'm so sorry about these guys." I said, "Bro, I don't give a fuck about those idiots." I go, "But what it comes down to," I go, "You're about to get in a main event in 3 hours. Go wear that shit the fuck out of your system, because you need to protect these boys that you're in the ring with. If you're getting in there with a friend of mine and you're
Definitely.
getting in there to wrestle a friend of mine, then you and I would have a big fucking problem, a bigger problem than what we have now. Because
Let
right
me
now we
say
don't
this.
have one. But if you're wrestling
I'm-
someone I care about, I'm fucking gonna take your head off."
I'm a big
True.
proponent of marijuana. I'm a user of it. I'm not going to sit here and lie or tell any falsities about how I feel about it. But, and as harmless as it is, you have a responsibility not only to yourself but to somebody else. And hear me out. You know, it's one thing when it's, if you're doing it 6 hours before a show, but when it's 6 minutes before a show, you're not, because here's the thing. And as a smoker, I've never hurt myself. I've never tripped. I've never fallen or anything else. Not like I have when I'm sober. Okay. It's the same, but the distraction level, and this is the thing, your distraction level can go up, and all it takes is one slip.
Mm.
Yeah.
And
So
you've
you're not
broken
pulling the
somebody's
Rob
neck
Van
because you
Dam.
dropped them. So, man, you know, save it for after the show.
I'm the same way, bro. I got
Save
no
it for after
problem
the
with it. I fucking smoke it. But again, if I'm gonna go work on a show, I could probably do it because I'm doing commentary and ring announcing. I'm not exactly putting anyone's life in my hands, but I still choose not to do it because I'm representing a company. I'm looking,
You're professional,
representing
man.
myself. Yeah.
Well,
I wanna
here's the
be-
thing too. You come, let's say you burn one down, you go walking in, and here comes mom and with her 2 kids who want to get a picture with you, and you know you smell like, you know, a dead skunk. I don't think that's, you know, I have played. I before I got into wrestling, I was a musician. I've been on tour, played in a, I want to say Pantera, Black Sabbath-esque type band, and being on the road and partying and all that stuff is cool. But now that I'm not doing that anymore, and I'm doing the wrestling thing, and I'm actually entertaining kids now, and it's a whole different ball game when there's kids involved, and everything at the end of the day, whenever you think about wrestling, and you know, and it doesn't matter what promotion you enjoy or whatever, kids watch it. And at the end of the day, man, you know, just think about the kids, man. And that should tell you, you know, how to behave. You know what I mean? What kind of personality or whatever outside the building that you have. You know,
it depends on the show though, man. If it's an adult orientated show, even then you shouldn't be smoking dope.
No,
Yeah,
but I mean,
professional,
once again,
like
that goes
you
back
said,
to,
you know?
you know, that goes back. Well, I'm just talking about being inebriated, you know, on the show, you know what I mean? Or whatever, you know, that, you know, you're in front of kids, but getting back to, you know, being in the ring, it doesn't matter if you're an adult show or a kids show or whatever, you know, if you're going to get your buzz on, do it after the show, man. Just, I mean,
I got a question
your
for you
match
guys
is only
on
going
the
to run
panel.
like 10 to 12 minutes anyway. You can't wait till that's over and then, you know, get your buzz on. Just my 2 cents.
Yeah,
I got a question for the panel. I'm going to start with Pierce.
Okay.
If you had something on your wrestling bucket list, what would be one thing that would be on your list? Like to meet somebody or work with somebody?
Hmm.
Even to shoot the stuff with one of your favorite wrestlers or a wrestler
Yeah,
that you
sure.
had on your bucket list.
Okay, so bucket list, I'd probably say before Ring of Honor closed down, commentate on a Ring of Honor show, which I thought still possible, I guess. New
Enjoy
Japan.
Ring of Honor though.
Yeah, New Japan commentating on that for the English side of things would be a huge thing. But honestly, man, I look at things that are a little bit smaller, like more obtainable for me, like coming up in the next year. So in the next year, for my bucket list, it'd be like to get booked in another state and to get someone to fly me to another state first, and stuff like that. That to me would be the next sort of evolution, so to speak. And I think James would probably understand that a little bit more of like the small steps.
Yes.
As far as interviewing someone, Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon.
Fuck it, I'm gonna go to the top. I'd love to sit down with Vince, and I'd
Yeah.
either sit there and piss him off, or I would just, I would intentionally do it. I just fuck with him on purpose, like every second. Sorry, Vince. Sorry, man.
Yeah, oh,
My-
he hates to
my
sneeze.
my
He
next
hates to
question.
sneeze.
My next question would be to Mark.
What
If
was
you
the
had a
question again?
wrestling bucket list, no matter what it would be, like Pierce, to interview somebody, to meet somebody, to have somebody say something, somebody come on your show, what would it be?
Man, that's a toughie.
It could be anything.
Well, okay. If I was going to meet, I'm sure most of the ones I want to meet are dead. I don't know. I'd probably like to meet Kevin Von Erich. Talk with Kevin Von Erich.
That would be a good interview.
You want to know the corniest thing on my list?
What's that?
I want Eddie Kingston to say, anybody seen Richie?
Eddie Kingston looks like the drunk uncle that's going to school to beat up the kid that took your lunch money.
That's one of the things at the top of my list, believe it or not.
Eddie
Because-
Kingston is one of the greatest promos of all time.
I was just going. I'm gonna piggyback on that. Eddie Kingston is the modern day Dusty Rhodes, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to cutting a promo. And I will say this: their promos are nothing alike. Okay, but Eddie Kingston can talk you into the building. And let me say this now: I've seen CM Punk run his mouth and back people up verbally when they were having their little thing facing.
Oh
off.
yeah, definitely,
Eddie Kingston
definitely.
made CM Punk back into the corner with what he was saying in the ring, and nobody has done that.
Oh no, I
Ever.
love that. I love that promo. I love that
And
promo.
Eddie Kingston is awesome. As far as your question, as far as the I
The
guess
wrestling
the
bucket list.
bucket
It could be
list?
anything. Yeah, it could be anything.
I've been very fortunate with all the names that I've worked with. I don't my bucket list is to have at least another 10 years in the business. That would be for my bucket list, honestly. As far as meeting people, there's, because of what I do, and unfortunately the companies that I work for, I've been able to meet a lot of guys that I never in a million years thought I would get to meet. Magnum TA, he signed my U.S. belt.
Oh.
Ted DiBiase, Ricky Steamboat. I mean, I had training seminars under these guys too, you know. So when it comes to meeting, I mean, a bucket list. Honestly, I would love to get signed to a major promotion. I'm a little bit too old for WWE. So you know, I've graduated. Unfortunately, I'm too big for the fourth grade intellect for them. As far as working for AEW, I actually had a seminar with QT Marshall, and gave me major props. Unfortunately, at this point in time, they weren't looking for white males. They were looking for people who definitely are good referees that are not of the majority and I totally understand that. You know,
I just got two more on the panel to ask a question. I'm gonna
but to
pick
work for
Lane.
NWA. I mean, honestly, that would be my goal, is to go work for NWA. That would be awesome.
I'm gonna pick Lane next. If you had something on your wrestling bucket list, no matter what it be, sitting down eating a sandwich with Jerry King Lawler or anything.
Can't hear you.
Can't hear you.
You're not muted. I don't know what's up.
Is his microphone off on his iPad?
Must be. Can't hear you.
Yeah, it must be
I
muted.
can't hear you, buddy.
Must be muted.
Yeah.
He's not muted. I don't know what's going on.
No, he oh,
Yeah.
He'll pop back in.
Okay. Well, we're about to end the show anyway, but let's get to Andy.
Yeah,
Uh,
Andy,
He
you're
never did
next.
quit, but he did say yes.
Okay.
okay. Just real quick, he's gone now, but I would love to sit down and have a dinner with Roddy Piper and just hear some of his stories.
Hot Rod.
That would be awesome.
Oh, I would love that.
Jim Cornette.
Kind of like
Oh.
the thought of the day, you know what I mean?
Jim
The
Cornette.
last-
Yeah.
I mean, Jim Cornette is like the genius. I know a lot of people hate him because
I love
you
the
know,
guy.
He
because
blocked
of,
me on Twitter.
because
He's
he tears AEW up, and the AEW stands they freaking hate him. And I love the guy. I think that he's very intelligent. I think he's very eloquent when he speaks. Like the dude gets a lot of hate because he's honest about how he feels about things, and he understands the concept of pro wrestling and not ping pong or acrobatics. And I'm with him on that stuff too. I agree. I think that a lot of the modern stuff that goes on nowadays looks more like cooperation than combat, and wrestling is supposed to look like combat.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I have to disagree with you on Jim Cornette. He blocked me about a year ago on Twitter.
Oh,
Yeah. we didn't have a very interesting. We had a very interesting
Good.
interaction where
Gotcha.
I just told him a few things that what he was saying wasn't right, and yeah, I had a bit of a back and forth, but at the end of it, Jim Cornette's a bitch.
Well, on that note, we're going to end the show. We're over time. I want to congratulate our belt giveaway winner, Nicholas Sankey. He has agreed to come on the show and show off the belt.
Awesome. Congrats again,
congratulations, Nick.
Show. Yeah. Thank you. I want to thank everyone who entered the giveaway. There will be more giveaways in the future, so stay tuned. I want to thank Piers Austin for joining us tonight.
Yeah. Great having you,
Nick.
Piers.
Thanks for coming, man. It was good to have you.
Sorry for being late, guys. I'm struggling with COVID.
Oh, no problem. No problem.
No worries, man. You
No
took it
worries
like
at
a
all.
champ, man.
And I want to thank everybody for watching again. We will be back next week for another 2 hours. 2 hours, no
2
no
hours
more,
plus.
of the show. So thank everyone for joining us tonight, and thank you for being members of Wide World of Belts, and thank you for supporting the show and being such good fans and good viewers. So
And please don't leave.
yeah, please don't leave. Invite your friends to join the group. We'd love to have them. I don't want the group to end at 1,000. Let's go to 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. Let's make this the greatest group in the belt hobby. So
There you go.
Dig it.
once again, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. We'll be back next week. So have a good night, good weekend, and good week.